Welcome to All Gen Gamers, a podcast for people in video games of all generations. Starring Pete Dorr, Happy Console Gamer, Gamester81, and Jason Heine.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 52 of All Gen Gamers. I am one of your hosts, Johnny Millennium. And we're joined by the ever-loving, wonderful human being, Pete Dorr. Pete, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well on this earlier recording of the episode evening.
That's beautiful. That's gorgeous. And together as one is the EMU Review and John, Gamester81. They're together in the same bed. How are you guys doing?
Two of hearts.
I'm doing beautiful. Fantastic. Lovely. Thank you, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing beautiful too. It's a beautiful night. And why it's such a beautiful night is we have our first guest that we ever had on the podcast back nearly 1 year later. And by the time you hear this, it'll actually be 1 year. And that guest is Jimmy of Lots of Games. Glad to have you back, Jimmy. It's awesome to have you back on.
Thanks for having me back, man. It's been a year. It's crazy. Can't believe it.
It has
Yeah.
I'm going to say one of my favorite words here. I'm already nostalgic about it. I really am. It's so amazing that it was a year ago when we were all talking about, hey, let's get together and just do a podcast and humble beginnings. And God, Jimmy, I remember when we were talking about it, and did you think that, it'd be 52 episodes later we'd have you back on?
No, I really thought you guys were going to flake out and just ditch the whole idea. So congratulations on 1 year.
I know. We were stupid enough to continue on the idea after the second episode.
Honestly, to continue, you guys all have busy lives, and to continue on with it and be persistent with it, that's just awesome. Congratulations. So
thanks. It's actually funny. It's a lot of work, and I wish we could have recorded what we were talking about before we started recording. And we're all talking about schedules and okay, well, we got to record a podcast tomorrow as well because we're not going to be around, the next week because Jason's got some moving to do, some stuff he's got to do in his real life, and then we're all trying to confer our schedules, and it's like, man, this is a lot of work for a free show, but we enjoy doing it for sure.
It's definitely worth it, man. So,
yeah.
So Jimmy, where can people find you?
They can find me on YouTube. Just look up Lots of Games, and that's where I should be. I try to upload every once in a while, and the past year since I last did, this podcast with you, the years really flown by, and it's been a lot of fun. Doing my YouTube thing, have a busy schedule like you guys, but it's been just a really fun hobby to kind of get away from things that I have to do and really do something that I want to do.
Right.
It's been great.
It definitely doesn't feel like a chore when you want to do it,
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing. So, I know, Jimmy, you're huge into collecting collector items, collector pieces for games, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
I'm a big fan of collector editions. I do have kind of an obsession, a problem with that. But, I wasn't really wanting to do videos on YouTube. I just started uploading a few of my collector editions, and then I just kind of continued from there. It was just really fun. I had no idea that it was going to continue. I started making videos, I think, around the same time that Google bought YouTube, and I saw it on the front page. I'm like, what the heck's YouTube? This doesn't even make any sense. And I learned about it and just learned that there's just a lot of amazing gamers on there, doing their thing, talking about what they're interested in. And I have a lot in common with them. And it's kind of a neat place to go.
How long ago was that you joined onto YouTube?
It was November of 07, I believe, or 06. I forget.
Wow.
I uploaded my first video was I had the Oblivion Collector's Edition, and no one else on YouTube had that. This is before people started uploading their collector editions, and they saw this guy's kind of a freak. I want to do this, so I did that. I put mine up there, and then I also uploaded the collector edition for Mass Effect and Call of Duty 4. And no one at that time had done that. And now if a collector's edition comes out, hundreds of people are doing it. But at the time, I just wanted to put it up there, not to show off, but I thought, just the still picture at, a website was kind of lame. I wanted to show the gamers, what exactly you get in the box. So that's how it all started for me.
You started all the unboxings on YouTube ever.
I don't know about like all of all time, but it's in terms of gaming and gaming collector editions, it's just something that I thought should be out there, So
it's so funny. I would even say there's billions of people that do that now, which is unfortunate. Everybody does unboxings. I do unboxings.
No, sure. Well, the thing about it I like about yours is usually you do something that's different that you can't find in most places. So, it's not like, Modern Warfare 3 Prestige Edition. It's usually something different.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
just for example, I typed in Infamous 2 unboxing, over 1,000 results.
Oh my god!
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of milked, isn't it now?
Wow.
So Jimmy, what's your favorite collector's edition set? I know it's hard to probably pick just one, but can you think of any that kind of come to first?
I do like, even though it's one of my first, I do like my my Oblivion. It comes with a little history book. It comes, it talks a little bit about Skyrim, and I think it almost even has some spoilers of who the main enemies are going to be in that game, but that's really cool. And it comes with like a coin and a bunch of other things. I like my Mass Effect Collector's Edition because at the time, at least in the States, the only place you could get the Mass Effect Collector's Edition was online, I think at GameStop.com. So it's pretty rare and compared to a lot of Collector's Edition, if you go on Amazon, it's pretty expensive to pick one up.
And I'll tell you, the one collector's edition I'm sure we all hope we bought was the Dead Space collector's edition, which now sells for thousands of dollars, usually between $1,000 to $3,000 on eBay.
Wow, and we talked about that a long time ago, and because there wasn't many of them, isn't it? Right?
Well, it was only, from what I remember, this is just from memory, it was sold on like EA's website, and it was only sold through the website. But a lot of collectors, I remember on Digital Press, people were like arguing whether or not it was going to be worth anything, because all it was the game packaged in a box, but everything that was inside the collector's edition you can buy separately. Like, everything in there was not like unique to the collector's edition. The only unique thing was actually the outer box packaging to it that put it all together. So people were like, how is that going to be worth anything when I can just go and buy all that stuff separately? Little do you know, this is actually probably one of the most expensive collector's edition of a modern game out right now, maybe tied with like Uncharted 2 or something.
That's crazy. Also around the same time with EA, Mirror's Edge also had a collector's edition that I think was kind of in the same boat in terms you could only get it at the EA store or the EA website. Yeah, and that one's pretty rare, I think, too.
How much do you think that's worth?
Oh gosh, the Mirror's Edge, I'm not sure. I just remember it had like a sling bag. That's one of the games that didn't get enough attention in my eyes. But
I love that game. Well, that bag itself, I know on eBay goes for usually around $70 to $100.
Wow. Okay. Not as much as Dead Space, but so that's interesting.
Nice.
Cool. Do you have the Balls of Steel?
I do not have the Duke Nukem Collector's Edition. Any of you guys get that game?
Yeah, I own it.
You do? Okay. No, I've not, this is one of those games, I'm sure some gamers don't like it. But this is kind of an example where a lot of reviewers don't like it. A lot of gamers are like, it's not that bad. I like it. Mm-hmm. But what did you think about it, Jason?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Again, Duke Nukem 3D, not to get into this again, we've talked about it like every episode since its release. So it's a kind of a hot topic, but I played the original Duke 3D when it came out back in the day. I remember begging my mom to let me buy this game when she was like, no, absolutely not. I have a special spot in my heart for Duke. Duke is a great game for Duke fans. But what the problem is, I think people are comparing it to, our Halos, our Modern Warfares, our Battlefields, current gen shooters. And Duke is what it is. It's not supposed to be this, this epic, over the top, graphical, magnificent. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be all that. And I think we have even a lot of the quote unquote professional reviewers that I don't think they even really they don't see that, and I think that really shows with some of the ratings. I mean, giving it a 2, giving it a 3 out of 10. I mean, that's just I don't think that's even anywhere close to being realistic or even fair.
Sure. Well, I know one reviewer really docked it because of its humor, saying it was childish humor. I mean, I'm not sure if the reviewer even knew what type of game this was.
And these are the people that probably never
ignorant.
even know who Duke is. You're right, and it's kind of.
How could you not know who Duke is? I mean,
That's what
if
I'm
you're
saying.
around our age.
It's like that Geico commercial. What are y'all living under a rock?
Very nice.
So,
Very
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I gotta say, I played the demo the other day, and I actually thought it was good. I was just like, what's all the hate here?
No, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I was expecting some clunky, broken game. I'm like, it's not broken. It's not clunky. Wow. I really was I was impressed because I was going in and going, no, this is going to be bad.
Mhm.
Sure.
And I think a lot of people think that exactly, Johnny. A lot of people. Yeah.
Must
I
be
thought
bad.
I thought it was a good first-person shooter. Were the graphics the best in the world? No, but they weren't terrible. Like,
Mhm.
wow, you know, like people are really, I don't know, they like bashing things. It's really, you know, that's the thing is, I think it's so easy to bash something. It's easy to say that sucks, but it's harder to build something up and say, no, this is actually good, and I have to explain why. That takes time. Bashing something takes like this. That sucks. That's a crappy game.
I think
4 out of 10.
part of the reason, like we mentioned before, though, it's just the build up. I mean, 14 years or however many years between
Yeah.
the two games. I mean, you can have the best game ever come out and they still think it's shit.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's
That's
never
true.
gonna
to the
never gonna live up
expectations.
to it. Never gonna live up
That's
to
true.
that.
Probably the hype thing for sure.
Yeah.
No, Johnny, I think you said one time that gamers today, like a lot of the kids, they're gaming gigolos, where they have hundreds of these games, and they really, they're like, obviously a kid in a candy shop, they have games, and they can play these games 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. And yeah, 5-10 minute impression, they're probably going to think the game's horrible if they're comparing it to something else that they really love.
God, games
So-
are a lot. I hate to say this, that me and Rob were talking about this the other day. And I was talking to actually a guy at work about it today. Is that in video games you don't die? I played Uncharted on normal and I didn't die
It's crazy.
once. It was
Yeah.
easy. Like I in one sitting, I beat the game. I'm playing another game I'll talk about later. I haven't died once as well, and that's it's a modern game as well.
I just want to say that that's pretty impressive, though, Johnny. I'm still quite
That
impressed
is,
to finish that in one day without dying.
Yes.
Johnny is
Seriously.
a gangster. He's a freaking gangster.
No, do you know what it was? Like great
You hide
example.
and shoot. You just hide.
If I'm flipping from one ledge to another, I'm not just gonna go, I'll take a chance. I'm like, okay, let's just make sure we just do this right. I'm honestly, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I found
I'm just happy
Uncharted
to get that game
1
still.
and Uncharted 2 very easy. It was like a nice game, great game. I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying I just thought it was pretty okay. I thought, difficulty wise.
What do you think the first game was that really introduced to the whole, you get wounded, hide away, recover, heal? Was it
That's
Halo?
probably Halo, right?
Or what was the first one that really did that? I mean,
I'm going to guess Halo
yeah.
with the shield.
Yeah.
And then I think the one game that really probably brought it out, the two would probably be Gears of War and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, you're the big first-person shooter guy. Do you remember any game that was like that before Halo? Like I wasn't as I say, I started playing first-person shooters with Halo. I'm one of those people. I can admit it. I don't really know what happened before that. I don't know if there was, shields and regenerating shields or whatever. So,
Back in the day, it was all about health and armor.
Mm-hmm.
Before Halo, and you know what? I'm going to say this now, and then I'm going to be like a day or two down the road, and I'm going to remember a game that had it. But I cannot think right now off the top of my head of any other games, just off the top of my head, that used the same type of mechanics that Halo did, or that they do now. It was all about getting your health.
Found it.
Oh, you found one.
Well, I looked it up. Origins. This is taken from GiantBomb.com. Halo Combat Evolved is often credited as the first appearance of regenerating health. However, not only was it the first, but it did not even have regenerating health. Halo featured a traditional health system, as it was the player's shields that regenerated. Subsequent games in the series, starting with Halo 2, added true regenerating health, although the original system made a reappearance in Halo 3 ODST and continued in Halo Reach. Wait, hold on. In truth, this popular method of health control appeared long before Halo. The 1992 first-person shooter Baseball 2000 for SNES and Sega Genesis
Oh.
had
2000, yeah.
it was also used in relatively unpopular comic book game Wolverine Adamantium Rage, which was released on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So there you go.
Oh my
Wow.
God,
Wow.
baseball. Yeah,
Baseball
I remember
2000,
that.
man. I remember playing that on the Game Boy.
Remember the cover of that thing had those those balls that had faces on them?
Creepy looking balls, yeah.
Those big yellow balls. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, and when you mention that, Pete, that's true. Remember, on Halo, you have your health, and then your shields is what will regenerate.
Mhm.
It's actually kind of similar to like GoldenEye or some of those older games, from the 64 era, where you had health that could get depleted, but you pick up armor that you could always, find again, but your health would stay the same. That wouldn't change. Yeah, that's crazy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't want to be. It's funny, but we were at work. And I'm like, the thing is, what they give you in games now is difficulty settings. You can do very easy, normal, hard, extra hard, or fucking insanity.
That's always been around, though, Johnny.
That has, but
it's been around since like
now,
the NES, remember Super Nintendo,
well,
Genesis.
not as much back then. Not as much back then. It was like you just played the game, and it was hard. Where now, I think what they're trying to do now, and it's a brilliant strategy by companies, making them very user friendly for everybody, so anybody can pick up that game and play it and feel good. But yet, hardcore, guys can say, no, I want to do the fucking insanity level, and then some guys will say, you know what, like me at times, no, I'm doing very easy on this game because I don't have time. I want to blast and enjoy it, type of thing. So I think that's how they're evening the playing field with that now, which I'm not against. It's fine, but I don't know.
You think about Street Fighter 2, Johnny. They had that for Street Fighter 2.
Street Fighter. Oh yeah, but
that's true.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's for Street Fighter for sure. But like a game like Mega Man on Super X, Mega Man X, I think you just played the game. I don't think there was a difficulty setting, if I remember right.
Yeah.
It's like, you just dive into that level and you were going to do well or you were not going to do well. So.
And then I was just talking about, then we have the difficulties for arcade games, which is actually part of like the business model. Yeah. Where, you can go set a game on easy or very easy, and people will play it, but blaze through it. There's a thin line between trying to make the game difficult for the person who's playing to where they want to keep putting quarters in. You don't want to make it easy to where they put one quarter, beat the game, but you don't want it to be so hard that they put one quarter in, die in 3 seconds and leave. So there's a thin balance, and that's why a lot of arcades, like for instance, especially fighters, you'll find this on every fighter.
Oh, yes. Neo Geo, yes.
Even my Killer Instinct cab, it has very easy, medium, hard, very hard.
Yeah.
It's got all those different settings that really make a big difference in the gameplay.
Yeah.
A huge difference.
Yep.
The Neo Geo MVS has the same thing. You can dip switches and stuff. You can settings and change it and make it super hard or super easy or
and
easy.
that's I gotta chime in with a story. I remember when me and Rob back in the olden days, for the home system, I picked up Magician Lord. And we were having such a fucking cunt with the game. The game was killing us. And we sat for a weekend. We finally got to the last boss, and we could not do it. And to get to the last boss was incredible. We found out the difficulty was on like super insane. I'm like, I know we're not this bad. I'm like, we actually tried to do that last boss. I think like 25 times before we said okay. Like we're talking like, okay, it's my turn. Get out of the way, small man. And I'd sit down and couldn't do it. Then he'd sit down and go, no, I'll take care of this. Wow. And he couldn't do it. I was driving us freaking nuts until we figured that out. It was funny that actually. But,
that's funny.
Just speaking of Rob, I know you guys know about this, and I know all the audiences probably knows about this. Is that Mega Man, Legends 3 was officially canceled yesterday, and we're going to try to get Rob on later on for his take on it. Because he's probably the biggest Mega Man fan that any of us know.
Sure.
And, Rob's got a very passionate load of things he would like to add on to that. So let's talk about it. Hopefully, he said I just got a text from him. He's driving home from Vancouver to the city. So maybe in about 30, 40 minutes, maybe. I can't guarantee. If not, we'll get him on the next one. We'll see what we can do.
Is he still in mourning from hearing about it? Is he taking it hard? I guess
I read his post. I read his blog entry, and a lot of it made a lot of sense. And it was kind of a red flag for me too. It was kind of a bummer when they ended up kind of parting ways with Clover. I'm not sure what Capcom's up to today, and I agreed with a lot of the things that RobMan said. My first game that I got for my NES was Mega Man 2, and I've loved just every console. A lot of the games that Capcom has put out. So, I mean, RobMan's like even way beyond what I've experienced. I can only imagine, what he's thinking about Capcom.
I know if I'm pissed, You know, I'm pretty sure RobMan is devastated, beyond devastated. Because when I read that, I'm like, holy shit, like, here they are, getting their fans all rallied up. They have a forum, they're taking user input, telling them to design the characters in the game, help pick out what they want the characters to look like all this different shit. They're going to put out a prototype of the game so you can play it before it comes out. And fans waited like 10 years for this game, and now nothing. They just flat out cancel it. I think that's one of the shittiest moves I've ever seen in the industry in terms of canceling a game. It's one thing to cancel it when it's just a name and a logo, but when it's that far along with community involvement.
Sure.
What was the other Mega Man? Was it Mega Man Universe that they canceled too?
Yeah, that too.
It's just Capcom's kind of weird with this whole Resident Evil thing for the 3DS, this one save file, creating a whole bunch of hoopla. People are pissed about that. You know, I kind of question the direction of Capcom and where it's going, honestly, as a company, you know? It's weird.
Yeah, I was reading just, in the community here, people are like, well, they couldn't find out a way to nickel and dime you, so they canceled it. And I'm like, oh my God.
It's probably true.
It's just tough. It's tough. Tough like jerky.
Which reminds me, I was actually on the Operation Kill Screen podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yesterday. It was fun. It was actually, believe it or not, according to them, their longest episode they ever recorded. So apparently my games I bought recently really dragged it out for them.
Sweet.
That's crazy.
Or games I've been playing recently. No, but it was a lot of fun. So if you want to check that out, it's episode 33, operationkillscreen.com.
Somebody wrote on my wall last night that it was canceled. And I was like, what? And I had to read it, and I read it. I'm like, wow. I'm like, so I got my phone. I phone up Rob. I'm like, have you heard the news? And he's like, what news? I'm like, you haven't heard the news.
Ooh.
Oh,
God, you have to break it to him. Oh, shit.
Damn.
I'm like, Mega Man Legends 3 was canceled. He's like, I'm like, I'm serious. I'm like, check it out. Go type of thing. And he actually had a long conversation last night. And, we came to the same conclusion. And I'll let Rob talk about it. But Pete, I'm exactly like you. I'm really confused why Capcom riled everybody up. I mean, like, yeah, a logo, as you said, and some screenshots. Hey, cancel that. That's no problem. But they've done so much of that development room. Oh my God. So hopefully we can get Rob on a little bit. He's very passionate about this. And
he bought. Wasn't he? Did he buy a 3DS, or he was gonna buy a 3DS for this?
Bought a 3DS.
Just this game.
His wife bought him that because she knew that he wanted Mega Man Legends in the e-store. And I'm speechless about it. I really am. I like Capcom. I'm not jumping ship like a lot of people, and I know Rob is not happy with Capcom, but I love Capcom. I do, and I just don't understand what the hell. And maybe because Keiji Inafune left. Maybe I agreed with Rob last night. I said I think it has had an effect. He leaves. Mega Man Universe is canceled. Mega Man Legends is canceled. Is that complete coincidence? It cannot.
I don't care what Capcom says. That is the reason why they canceled it. I mean, and I just want to say, I've never played the Mega Man Legends games, but I can just imagine the feeling, the hit that those fans took. That the hardcore fans of those two games. You wait 10 years to hear the announcement of a third game in the series. That would be like me waiting 10 years for Child of Eden. The sequel to one of my favorite games of all time, being able to play
Eco, right?
Or Eco, yeah, that would be like them canceling Last Guardian. Are you kidding me? I'd go into like a depression and hiding for like months. I wouldn't be able to talk. I know what the feeling is like.
Well, it's like Jason with Duke Nukem being canceled several times. The new one.
I lived it, guys. Shit.
But yeah, there's lots to talk about with that one. We'll wait for Rob. It's such a huge. That'll encompass the entire podcast. So hopefully he can come here in about 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a bunch of stuff over here to talk about. John and I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Oh yeah.
I can think
your story.
I can think about 3 things right now. We have a lot of news here.
Those fucking golf cart bastards.
Okay.
Man,
okay. So let's hit that first, and that's important. Okay. So John and I, we decided to head down to the Compton swap meet. No, it was the Phoenix swap meet. We went down there. And we took the light rail down, and we walked up in there. We had our cameras, and John did it in 3D. So check out that on his channel, Games for 81 in 3D. Pretty sweet. I did a video as well myself of the events, but and John, feel free to chime in.
No, you're doing great, man. So basically, first time for both of us going over there. And we get off. We take there's like we have like a light rail system in Phoenix, fairly new. So we took it off, dropped you right in front.
It was perfect.
Perfect. So we get in there, and like it's $2 to get in. First of all, which is kind of
hold on, John. Just explain to people what swap meet exactly
so
means.
There's two ways people either refer to it, either a swap meet or a flea market. Some people refer to it as flea market, and basically what it is, it's like a garage sale kind of deal where vendors bring in random shit, and like they set up a table. And they sell you shit, and you can barter with them. So if one thing's $5, just say I'll give you 3 and whatever, And it happens every weekend, like I think Thursday through Sunday. It's usually in the mornings, early afternoon, and then it's hotter than fuck because it's outside.
Yeah.
But so we get in there, and this guy, there was one guy trying to sell. We didn't see the sign. Apparently, there's a sign saying no videotaping.
There's this dude right when you walk in. There's this big fat guy standing right in front of the sign that we got pointed to at the end.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, try some free kettle corn."
Yeah,
so we're all like, "Nom nom nom," whatever. We didn't see the sign. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we walked in there.
Well, even if we did see the sign, would that have stopped us?
Yeah,
Probably
fuck
not.
it. No, I wouldn't know. We would have still walked in that bitch.
So we recording, and then this one random security chick came up to me. Actually, she's like, "I can't have you filming in here." And I was like, okay, whatever. So
she rolls up in her golf cart, like,
yeah. Can't have you filming in here. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I walk away and start walking, and she fucking starts following us. And she's like, guys, I'm gonna have to leave. You have to leave your cameras in the car, and her car's like freaking hella far because we have to take the light rail.
Yeah, you want to come with us on the light rail, lady? What's the deal?
So like, okay, we'll leave. I'm not going to argue with you, whatever. It's like your power trip right now. And she was kind of a bitch about the whole thing, I think. I
saw her like foaming at the mouth while she was staring at her camera. So I'm like, damn, is she going to want to eat these things?
Yeah, she's crazy about it.
Rough.
So
when you got kicked out, though, you were in like a car stereo home theater system.
Yeah.
We went over. Yeah, we were walking through. We were just passing through that area. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, though, like if you let's say you're not familiar with YouTube and the whole thing like that, if that was me, like working as a security guard, and I saw two guys videotaping like a home stereo booth and stuff, I would kind of be like, that's kind of strange, not knowing that their intentions were just to take the video and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said too. It's like they are not aware of our community. You know what I mean? They're not aware of what we're doing, and people start to trip out when they're like, "Where's that video gonna go?" They don't have no idea. So it's understandable they're a little leery.
Yeah.
I mean, she just came over and shut the shit down.
Yeah, straight up.
She just came over and was like, "You can't be filming. Put them away." So we're
you guys need to get those glasses with the cameras built in, the sunglasses.
Exactly.
Hey, I got a question. Did she have a gun?
No.
Oh, fuck her then.
she may not even had a flashlight. You know what I mean?
So we're literally about to leave the fucking place. It's like, I'm not even going to argue about it because like we were pretty much done filming.
John almost did. He was like, you know how when he's like reading somebody's name and he's like, it's Bart, but Bar to Bar, he was doing that to the lady. Like he was like, but what if? Okay, I mean, okay, never mind. We're out of here. That's just what he did.
I knew that no
he
matter
was gonna go at her. I was like,
I knew no matter what I would have said to her, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered
because it was just gonna make things worse.
Yeah.
So we were leaving, and freaking two more security guys come up to us, and they call us back and they're like, guys, what's this about? You're filming. Like they gave us a fucking nth degree. Like, what the fuck's going on?
I lean up on his golf cart and I go, dude, we're not here causing any trouble. We're not stirring the pot. I go, look, we do shows on YouTube. We host a gaming podcast. We're in here looking for retro games. We're not messing with anyone. I'm not in here trying to film, everyone and all that sort of thing. And he's like, oh, retro games?
He's like, I like retro games.
She's like, well, I like that Nintendo 64 Zelda. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. You like Zelda.
So they were cool. It was one bitch that was kind of, she was kind of about the whole thing.
Too bad they didn't get to you first, instead of that one woman.
But, I think the reason why they don't want filming, honestly, is probably because half the shit's probably stolen.
I agree.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh.
So
Did you have to pay anything to get in there?
Yeah, it was $2.
$2 a person.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not too bad.
But when we were in there, like people were very nice, and like I found some good deals on games, and like they had a lot of game stuff. That was great. We had a good time while we were there. But it was only the security bitch that was just kind of a bitch about it.
She was tripping.
So.
Oh, I wish you got some video of that, guys. When you should have been.
I said that too. I go, we should have been filming them attacking us.
You're right. We need to get some hidden camera glasses or some shit.
That would have been so awesome.
In the hat.
Music.
In the hat. Camera in the hat. That'd be great.
I mean, you got those cameras. I mean, like, I can somehow probably rig like a flip or something in a shirt or like a pocket on a shirt.
Pocket of your shirt, yeah. But it would kind of be a little shaky.
It's true.
Yeah.
How would you point it at the stuff you're looking at?
All in your shirt.
Just duct tape. They'll just duct tape it to the groinal area.
But a lot of times,
Yeah.
like if you have a flip, people mistake that as like phones, and like
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, it was just a really funny deal. I mean, we were riding home going, we got a story for all gen gamers now.
yeah.
Just really funny.
Yeah.
It kind of worked me up a little bit initially because I was like, that's kind of bullshit. It's free advertising for the place, It's not like we're in there trying to cause trouble, but I can see their point where they might think that the two guys here with cameras kind of shady, So I don't know. I think next time we might just go there and talk to the property manager and just kind of clear things in the air, or just go with hidden cameras.
Go with hidden cameras,
Yeah.
crotch
Ultimately,
cameras.
I would
That's
like
where
to
it's
get
at.
kicked out again, but I would like to film that. I would like footage of us getting kicked out by the.
Oh, that would have been so wonderful.
And I walked out of there saying, like, I wish I could. Like the next band I start, I'm gonna call it Swap Meet Security. It's just an awesome name.
Guy, I got a story for you. This one's kind of funny. You'll like it. It's the same sort of thing, but mine was actually terrifying. I was filming a Grindhouse movie, like kind of an old 70s type of style movie, kind of but shot modern day time. Anyways, where it was in the middle of nowhere, pretty well. And I got my friend to bring up his motorcycles and his old beater car, and he was going to be in this Grindhouse feature thing I was doing. Was a guy selling guns by the side of the road. So we loaded up his trunk with all these plastic guns that looked fantastic. They looked really good. And we made this huge sign and spray painted it beautifully. And it said "Guns for Sale."
Oh
It
my
was huge.
god!
Nice.
This is in Canada where like they're like we were talking about before, like right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's a few of us there, and we set up everything. I'm there in this like jean jacket. I had long hair at the time. I had it all spiked up, and I looked like a biker kind of guy, and some other friends there. So we had him all set up for the scene, and I pull up on this motorcycle, and I'm asking him for free gun. Where are these guns? And he's showing me the guns. So we're filming, and there's a highway next to where we're filming, but there's not many people that would go that direction. That's why I decided to film out there. I thought we'd be fine. So we're sitting there, we're filming the scene. It's beautiful, everything's going great. I'm very happy. I'm like, yes, I'm shooting this. It's happening. And then all of a sudden, I look around and I'm like, oh guys, keep it cool. There's a cop car, driving by.
Oh god!
Whoosh! I see it like coming towards us, full speed, like big smoke behind it as it's going through the gravel to get to us. I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, I just didn't even know what to do. I'm holding this gun. I'm like, ah! And the funny thing, I actually have a photo of it. The cop comes, he fucking pulls out his gun on us. I'm no kidding. Wow. Fucking drop everything. Fucking hands on your head. Hands on your head. Hit to the ground. We're like, woo! We're fucking doing that. I'm like, we're just moving. I'm yelling. I'm just like, we're just making a movie. We're just making a movie. And this guy, he just came over. He starts fucking calling people, and all of a sudden he goes into the trunk. He's looking around and he sees they're all plastic guns. I said, honestly, we're making a movie. So what ended up happening? Long story short. Some fucking stupid family was driving past and said, "Oh, Richard, look, guns for sale on the side of the road. Oh, please, they're evil men."
Wow.
Like only Canada. This is how pathetic we are out here. And the guy was nice enough. The cop was nice enough after settling the scene, realizing what it was all about, seeing the camera set up there, and the microphone. He realized we're actually filming a movie. He let us continue to film. But he sat there and watched us the whole time.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
But it was cool. So
in Vegas, the cops just buy guns from those guys, so it's all good.
I got a great shot of him in the trunk and me standing there with like my arms in there. Like one of my friends took it on the cell phone. I didn't even know he took it. So there was actually a shot of that existed. But
it's funny. It's a funny story, Johnny. It's hilarious how people are just freaking so scared of cameras. Like especially when you go into shops and start filming.
Oh yeah,
I've been kicked out. I mentioned before I've been kicked out of several retro gaming shops. But even when I ask for permission, a lot of times I go to a store. Hey, I give my business card. I'm like, this is what I'm all about. Like, no, you gotta go to the corporate office to get it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
But it just I don't know why people are so scared of cameras.
In my experience, if you go anywhere and say, "Can I film here?" they will always say no. So which John. Don't ever ask. Just film, get as much footage as you can, then say, I didn't know. That's
Yeah.
what I always do. When I'm filming in public for movies, and I'm doing a lot lately for the movie, I just say, oh, sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And that's really stupid. I'll just move on. Sorry about that.
Better
I
to
just
beg for
continue.
forgiveness and ask for permission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As you've gotten your goods.
Which is kind of sad in a way, and you think about it. And ultimately, you like want to do the right thing and like get permission, and hopefully it goes smoothly. But fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They always say no.
So did they put you in the golf cart? Did you actually get in? And
No, they just followed us.
They were like following us. Like I could hear that little thing, like
Yeah. It
like
was-
behind us. I'm like looking back, I'm like, give me a break.
Yeah.
Like escorted us out, and then once we got to the front gate, that's when another golf cart cop, rent-a-cop, and another dude on a bicycle met us. Like we're getting surrounded. We are getting surrounded at the swap meet, and that's
They have
when
our
that
pictures now on the do not enter list. Pictures.
Seriously?
No, I'm just joking. That'd be funny. Don't let these guys enter.
They had nothing else to do, right? They had nothing.
Nothing else.
Nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do.
It was the highlight of their probably
It is.
6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But
Remember those two guys came in with the cameras?
you know
We
what?
showed them who was boss.
There's a lot of people on YouTube who do swap meet or flea market pickups or fines and
Tons.
tons, you know. So I don't know how they get away with it. It's just I guess
Hey,
it
they had the
depends.
hats, John. Honestly,
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, there's one guy on YouTube I used to watch all the time until he took his channel down, and he used a hat, and he had
Really?
some amazing footage. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, if only these people knew.
We gotta look into that.
Oxymote actually did it
Yeah.
for a while. Oxymoted, and he had like a pair of glasses and went on eBay, and a lot of
Yeah.
those glasses, they don't cost a
Like
lot.
$40-$50. I was looking at that. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah, but
so
how is the picture though? Is the frame rate
It's
all
like
jacked?
480.
and
Yeah,
it's-
that's not that great.
it's not HD. Some of them are HD though.
Wow.
There was one I was looking at that was like FBI approved, like $300 freaking you can HD surround sound camera. I'm like, wow,
You
shit.
can hook it up to some like wireless 3G card on your back and then stream it live straight
No, so
from my
it-
forehead.
They look like normal like glasses, which I want the normal glasses because I don't want sunglasses because you can't really go inside with sunglasses, right? Or you can't wear them at night.
People go inside with sunglasses. Well, night, yeah. That's
Yeah.
I wear my sunglasses at
At
night.
night.
Some of these are
Mhm.
great. I'm looking at these on eBay.
Anyway, so the ones I saw had like they had the wires go back and like go down your back. It was weird. It was kind of a weird design, but yeah, some of them look really cool.
8 GB hidden HD cam spy
Holy cow.
sunglasses.
Yeah,
Yeah, wow. DVR recorder.
How much?
60?
It's looking. This is an expensive one. It's $59.
Well, that's not bad.
it's not bad.
It's not
You
bad.
know, if the
Yeah.
picture's halfway decent, I mean, what the hell?
It'd be
Just
fun.
don't go to the women's bathroom with it. Whatever you do.
What are you doing in here? Call the cops. You're
Call the
selling
cops.
guns on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
On the sidewalk.
Okay,
That
so
was not-
we're going to move on from the swap meet showdown here. And I got another tidbit of news here, which is really cool. So on that same day, in the same trip, we were heading down there to the park and ride, and John says, "Here, Jad, got something for you. Here you go." And it's a package. And I'm like, "What is this package?" And he goes, "I don't know. Open it up. It's not from me. It's from somebody in the community." And I'm like, "What?" And first thing I'm going, "Why the hell would somebody send something to you to give to me from the community?" I'm like, they can't ask for my P.O. box or something. I'm like, this is weird. Doesn't make any sense. So anyway, I noticed right off the bat, it's from Canada.
What?
And the second thing I said, I'm like, did Johnny send me a big pile of steamy Canadian shit? Is that what he did? Because I'm
I'd
going
love
to get
to.
pissed because you did that last year and I'm still
I
not
know.
over it.
It's Christmas and all, right?
Still not over it. Merry Christmas, motherfucker. And so anyway, I'm opening up this package and you guys won't believe what it is.
What?
It is
Read it first. Read the letter first.
okay. There's a letter here
Read the
too.
letter. Love letter.
Love letter. It says, "Dear Jason, take it all off." No, okay. It says,
Yeah, man.
"Hey Jason, first of all, I don't know if this will arrive before or after, but in any case, happy birthday. Here's a little something to have you celebrating your birthday while clogging up your arteries.
What?
You only have to find a good cheese curd and go buy yourself some nice French fries. The oven ones just don't cut it.
It's bullshit.
And there you have a nice poutine in the comfort of your own home."
What? The fuck? Who dared to do such a thing?
All joking aside, I hope you enjoy it. And if you ever come to Quebec City, let me know and I'll show you around. Seb. His name is Ross1 GNOL Ganol. Ross1 Ganol. I'm going to butcher it. I'm going to pull a Gamester 81. And he says, P.S. Thanks to Gamester for his help in making this a surprise. So what happened was this guy, Ross, Seb, is his name, Seb, sent me 4 packets of St. Hubert poutine mix, gravy mix.
Unbelievable.
And it says here, Johnny, it says, Miligwang a sauce. Sauce.
Le formidable.
So, hey, Seb, I am very happy and flattered that you decided to do that. Some people out there are really nice, and they listen to the show, and I need to find some fries and cheese curd, but I have 4 packets of le sauce.
Le bullshit.
Johnny's pissed.
I'm pissed.
Yeah, he's pissed.
I know.
Well, why are you so mad?
It's just the moment has been taken away from me personally now.
Johnny, I don't know how to cook. It's not all lost. It's not all lost. No, I may mix this up and.
Oh, see what?
He's gonna put his milk.
You know what? You know what I need to do?
Mix it in milk, dude.
No,
Just
you know what I
drink
need
it
to do? I need to find somebody that can cook this for me.
I'll cook it for you.
Naked.
Hold on. Yeah. When do these expire?
They expired already. You can't eat them.
No, it's powder. It doesn't expire.
It's powder. So I'll bring them. I'll bring them to Seattle.
Dude, bring them to PAX.
And we'll make le sauce. No, but Seb, thank you so much. I completely appreciate that. What a great birthday present there. Well, it was very nice.
What's funny about this is, guess what I had for dinner tonight?
Poutine.
Go figure. I had poutine. And not only did I have poutine, I sent Jason a picture of it.
Did he?
Fucking
That's
asshole.
funny.
And look what he said on it. I'll have John read it. Look what he said.
Let me read it.
Hold on, let me pull him up here.
I'm naked. Yeah. Poutined.
Mm.
He poutined me.
And be like, poutine.
He sent me a picture of it.
Girl would send you.
Where is that? Where's this poutine? Is Burger King or some shit?
No, actually, it was actually the one where me and Gamester got it from.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same bad time, same bad channel.
Well, good stuff. Yum.
Yeah, so I said that, but meanwhile, you're laughing hysterically behind my back, going, "Oh, wait till I reveal this news in the podcast."
Yeah,
tonight.
actually, that's exactly true. I go, oh, he won't even believe it. I got all of the poutine mix I can clog.
The key is finding the good cheese curds.
Yeah,
that's the key.
So I'll have to go out there and find some la cheese la curda.
Jason, you have to make a video the moment that you make this stuff, and you have to make it. I just want to see this video. I could eat the video.
That's the thing is I can't cook.
We'll get somebody who can.
That's what your girlfriend's for.
Yeah. Just beat her a lot.
Make me this fucking poutine.
Make me my poutine. Then you'd be properly Canadian. You're beating your wife. She's making you poutine.
They don't do that up there. They're polite.
Oh,
They're
they
nice.
do, but we keep it quiet up here. Hey, the women don't say anything. I'll tell you that much.
Johnny knows.
Oh my god.
Under more news, Jason's got some more
Yeah,
exciting
this is the last bit of news.
Nice. What is
This whole section is dedicated to my good friend Mr. Pete Dorr.
Oh boy.
And John showed up today to do the podcast here at my residence. And I opened the door, and the clouds parted. Oh, and the sun came through, and he handed me the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King.
Oh god.
Extended edition.
Extended editions.
Extended
Let me just
editions.
open this up. What the hell am I looking at? This is the Fellowship of the Rings.
Do you even have a DVD player?
This thing is like 6 discs.
4 discs.
Okay, it's 4. Really? No?
Yeah.
Really, though? I mean, how long are they each?
Well, there's a whole bunch of bonus footage. Trust me, you want to watch all the bonus. Once you get through the trilogy, you want to go back and watch all the bonus footage. Delete the scenes, commentary.
Okay. Well, just to let everyone know, I have them all. I'm going to have to go to Goodwill and buy a DVD player because I don't know what those are.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
I have 15 computers, but they don't have disk drives. I don't know. No,
Are you
so
gonna
anyway,
watch it?
I have them
Watch it
here.
on your computer?
Yeah, I'll probably watch them on my computer. Yeah.
You watch them on your computer. You're not gonna load them into your big screen television.
Well, my room here is kind of like a, I got a good, surround sound system, speaker system in here.
Jimmy, have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, they're excellent.
Nice.
I haven't seen the extended edition though. My friend is like totally crazy. He has all 3 of the movies, the extended edition, and I think like some of the bonus footage for those movies ranges from like around 30 minutes, 45 minutes extra movie footage for each movie.
Yeah.
And but yeah, they're fantastic. I know a lot of people are really excited to see The Hobbit. And I haven't seen a lot on that though.
Well, I can't wait to watch them.
When are you going to watch them, Jason?
I don't have it scheduled in my day planner yet, but next week at 2:00.
Okay, perfect. I got it. Poutine and Lord of the Rings. It'll be like the most glorious evening of your life.
Yeah, it sounds like a good, evening. It really does.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Good times, man.
So that's all the news I've got. Back to you,
pretty
Billy.
good news.
Wow.
Hey, Pete, do you have any news?
No news.
No news at all?
Well, okay.
Should we have some quick draw?
We can do a quick draw. I post a Wales quick draw. If you guys want to do that.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Wales quick draw. Okay, guys, so for the Wales Quick Draw, and just to recap once again for all of our new listeners who aren't aware of what the Wales Quick Draw is, what we do is we post on our Facebook the Wales Quick Draw, little game show, tidbit, fun time, where we answer questions from our Facebook community. So make sure to go on to Facebook and like us, the All Gen Gamers podcast on Facebook. Hey, we're currently at almost 950 likes. We're almost at 1,000 likes there, guys. Pretty sweet.
Pretty nice. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
Let's see if we can get it to 1,000, huh? So go on in there, like us, and so you're following us there, and we will post that. You can post any question or ask any question during the section, and we will answer it. And the key is we have to answer your question, each one of us, under 1 minute. If you don't, you get shot up by the old Western whale, and it sounds a little something like... So watch out. Watch out now. So for the Wales Quick Draw, we're going to start out here. I got one here. Billy Hudson, Captain 8-Bit, he asks, not to put anyone on the spot, but has any of you done something to legitimately piss off another podcast member at any point over the last year?
Oh, I'm sure I pissed off a few people. I don't know.
I will say, just to start out, in the last year doing the podcast, I have had 2 podcasts crash. One with Thunder and Lightning Storm, crashed my system, fried my hard drive. And the second one, I didn't do my checklist, missed a few steps, and it didn't end up recording. And
2 of the most crucial podcast episodes ever.
Crucial.
So crucial
to our lives.
that these guys, I still have hate mail coming, snail mail from all of them.
Fucker. I know where you live.
And he knows where I live. That was a really frustrating time. I know everyone was frustrated. That's kind of the nature of the beast with technology and this. And unfortunately, that's the only thing I can really think of that frustrated everyone. And I'm aware of that. So that's what I've got. Any of you guys think of anything?
No.
Yeah, just that we hate you for losing the podcast. Absolutely, that was right on the. Yeah, we do. Absolutely, that's not a big deal. No, there's one person I absolutely do hate though.
Fuck you.
I do
Fuck
have
you,
one.
Johnny.
Yeah,
Fuck
you
you.
think it's Gamester? You think it was Gamester? You think it's gotta be Gamester, but it's actually not.
Crack open that copy.
That's exactly correct. So, did you like? Am I
love that video.
Unboxing the tag?
I like the tags too, yeah.
They were a little small, like Easter egg that I threw in there, and unfortunately they were discovered right away. It actually says, go check it out. You can check it out on my channel. It's I think it's called Update and Pure Solar. You check out the tags for my secret message to Pete, and it's truly what I think. So that's me.
If you don't opportunity to... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say mine was probably going all the way back to episode 1 when we set up our first night to record, and then I wasn't there, but I really was there because apparently, being the noob that I was at Skype, I was not online. I was appearing like as offline. So I get on Skype and I'm like, wow, everybody's offline. I guess everybody forgot.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Remember that.
And they're like sending me messages and all this shit. And like, yeah, they were online waiting for me. And I'm like, wow, I guess no one's online because I was appearing offline and we didn't record that night.
Yeah. Still hate you for that one.
I don't really have anything that really, it's not anything to really piss me off. Other than Johnny pissing me off every once in a while. But
you gotta hate me for something. Come on.
yeah, I always find something to hate you for.
Yeah. Make something up.
I don't know.
I know Jimmy hates you. He was telling me before the podcast.
Really,
he just
Jimmy?
told me-
That hurts
yeah.
my feelings, Jimmy.
Yeah, I got big issues with you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
told you. I said so. You know, I think it's all gonna come out now. Like we were talking a long time, texting. He's like, "Oh man," he's like, "How long is Gamester gonna be on for?" I'm like, "Well, he kind of does the podcast. We have to have him on for a bit."
This sucks. This sucks.
This
I know.
sucks.
We're out of here.
This is
All right, that's a limit.
Oh, here's a question. I love this. And I mean, this is a question directly to John Gamester, and it's from John Newton, and he asks, "Have you got your Pandora yet?" I think he mentioned that in the first week of the podcast.
No, I have not received my Pandora
Been a
yet.
year.
And for those listeners who may not know what the Pandora is, no, we're not referring to Avatar, but we're referring to a handheld game. It's like it's a mini PC essentially. It plays emulators and it's run off of Linux, but I have not received it yet. I bought it like 2 years ago. Paid for it 2 years ago. I haven't got. And every time they're like, "Oh, we're gonna send it to you next month," another fucking excuse pops up. So the
How much
answer,
do they charge you for it?
gosh, it was like $300, $400.
It was two.
It
It
wasn't
was 2
cheap.
years ago, Pete.
You
We
paid it
don't-
in full 2 years ago?
Yeah, you're supposed to pay in full.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Hey, John, I actually
Yeah.
have a couple of consoles I want to sell you that I'm developing. They're around $400 to $500. You might be interested in them. They like play all Xbox 360 games,
I
all
know, right?
PS3 games. It'll be
Exactly.
available in a couple years,
Couple
but
years.
it's around $700-800.
200 for shipping.
So yeah, to answer your question, I'm very pissed off about it. And
But are people actually getting their
no,
Pandoras?
people are getting them, and that's the thing. Like that's why I'm kind of hopeful still, because people are still. I mean, Ashton's did a like a video on it, and he got his, and it's out of Europe, it's out of England, and they're having issues with like the motherboards and the sound. There's always some issue going up and arising because it's all, made from handmade shit.
You're
Limited
just
to-
further
John-
down on the list, is all. You're just like,
yeah, I'm just further down the list.
When you
Yeah.
visited me, John, in Northern California last year,
Yeah.
you were telling me about this console, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you were excited because you're like, I think it's coming soon. I think it's going to be here in the next few weeks."
Right.
And you're really excited about it, but
Yeah, I was
you
telling
get
Johnny the same thing like over a year ago about it. Before
That
we had
sucks.
yeah,
man,
it
that's
sucks.
too bad.
It sucks.
Can you get your money back if you want to, John? At this point,
I don't know. It's a good question. I may look into it, but I
I may
really,
look
I
into
really
it.
want, I really want it too, though. So it's like I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
We'll see.
Do they have any type of updates?
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
updates all the time. That's the thing. They're like, oh yeah, this the sound. Go on. It's openpandora.org or openpandora.com or something like that.
I'm going to go order one tomorrow and it shows up in a week.
Of course, they have a thing where if you pay an extra $100, they'll send you one right away, or some. There's some scam bogus shit.
What?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
just they'll expedite it for you. But I'm just
Are they
down.
selling them on eBay?
I've seen
I'm
only like
looking on eBay right now.
in the
There's
last
nothing.
2 years or last 2 years, I've only seen one or two pop up on eBay.
Wow.
They're really, really hard to find. So it's like there's two production runs. It's kind of like Pure Solar. The first one is I think 5,000. Second one's 5,000, but I think they've only made like 2,000 of them.
Is it known as the GP2X?
No,
Or
it's
no?
just Pandora. That's a different system.
Oh, okay. Open Pandora handheld console
Yeah.
here. GP2X. No. Yeah.
Here's an interesting question. Kind of different. Some of you guys might have to think on this. It's from Niles Butler Walsh. What's your best dinosaur or dinosaur? He's basically asking, what's your favorite dinosaur game? Mine would actually have to be King Kong. Even though, King Kong, you don't think of dinosaurs. But if you've ever seen the movie or played the game, I'm talking about the Xbox 360 version. I thought that game was actually pretty awesome.
That's a
Especially,
good game.
you pop your game, you get your 360, the launch game. That game looked amazing. Some of the gameplay got a little repetitive after a while, but man, it was actually a really entertaining game. It had a lot of like scripted events in there, but it had a lot of fun playing it.
You better not take mine.
Go ahead.
You better not.
I'm going to take it.
The arcade port of Atari's Primal Rage.
That's a good one. I wasn't going to take the
Oh,
straight
okay,
up, but
okay.
that's good.
That's
a good one.
mine. That's
Primal
mine.
Rage is a great game.
Yeah, I love that one. I just, it kind of came out during the heyday of all the fighters, and it was a game that kind of got, like it's not really the best fighter, so it kind of got shoved under the rug, and then it kind of hit the quarter bin, if you per se, got real cheap to play. But I thought it was a good game, and I liked how when you killed them, their hearts like exploded at the top of the screen. It was just like nasty, it was just.
And they had like fatalities, but they called them like something else. I forget what they called them.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't remember what the names.
Fatality. It was like, but anyway, it was like Mortal Kombat meets dinosaurs. Basically, it's a
good game.
I would say there are two actually, if I can pick two. First one comes to mind is Jurassic Park, but for the Genesis, not for the Super Nintendo, because there's two completely different games. The Super Nintendo version is more of a top-down.
Isn't it point and click?
No, it's a top-down kind of like Zelda style, like you go in, and there's parts of it where it's first person as well. You go into the room, and that's kind of a cool part. But the Genesis one is more of a side-scroller platform game, and it's a really great game. I really like it. I also like Turok.
Oh, shit.
For the N64.
Those
that
are
was
excellent.
a classic. I mean, there was a number of them, but definitely a classic one. Johnny.
Oh, I gotta say, I got two as well. I gotta say, Prehistoric Isle on the Neo Geo. Do you guys remember that one? Shooter, side view.
What is it? What is it called?
Prehistoric Isle.
Prehistoric Isle.
I haven't heard of it.
It's a shooter. It's a side-scrolling.
Yeah, it's a great game. And my other pick is Cadillacs and Dinosaurs by Capcom.
Yeah.
That's a class.
Is that by Sega?
That's a Capcom.
Capcom, okay.
Side view game. Yeah, I love that back in the old days too. So those are my picks. What would you say, Jimmy?
Probably Magical Dinosaur Tour for the TurboGrafx 16 CD player.
Would
No,
you
I'm
say
just kidding.
that? Really?
I'm just kidding. No. That was like kind of like an encyclopedia game. You know what? Primal Rage, I was a big fan of. I played a lot of that on the Sega channel when I had my Genesis hooked up.
Hell yes.
And but also, I've heard a rumor. I'm not sure if you guys heard this, but I heard about a potential This is totally bizarre, but I heard a rumor going around that in the upcoming Battlefield 3, there's going to be a dinosaur mode. Any of you guys heard of this?
I have not heard of this.
What's this for? Okay.
Battlefield 3.
Really?
On the forums of the Battlefield forums, someone from like Infinity Ward or Activision was at the forums, and they were wanting to know why they were bashing Modern Warfare 3 so much. And as a joke, a couple of the people on the forum say, we hate Modern Warfare 3 because it doesn't have dinosaurs. And so it's continued on, and there's kind of like this rumor going around that just might be in there as, I don't know, maybe like a map or two.
Probably not, because the amount of time that they'd have to spend rendering dinosaurs and such, just as sort of like a little Easter egg or something. If it's a full blown level, I don't know that.
On top of everything else that they're
Yeah.
doing between, co-op and the online, and then the campaign's going to be a top notch as well. I mean, there's so much going on. That would be really interesting to see. I have not heard of that.
Sure. I still play Bad Company too, and I've got it for the 360 and the PS3, and it's a great series. I'm really looking forward to the upcoming Battlefield 3. But you know what? A dinosaur game that I really have wanted to play, a series. I don't know if it's any good, but the Dino Crisis games for the PlayStation 1. Are they any good?
It's like Resident Evil. It really is like Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs.
Okay.
And I didn't mind it. I got a Dino Crisis shirt in my closet, which is kind of a bizarre thing. But I played it. Back in the olden days of the PS1 days, I actually got a copy of the game, and I played a little bit of it, and I liked it. I don't know why I didn't continue it though.
A survival horror with dinosaurs.
Yeah,
From what I heard,
really
the third one is terrible.
For the Xbox,
Terrible.
I think it only came out for the Xbox. Yeah,
So
it's interesting.
nice.
I have a question here from Jose Encarnacion, and he wants to know best female character in gaming.
Oh,
Lara
geez.
Croft.
Lara Croft. I think I know what Jason's going to say. Chung-Li.
Pregnant Chun-Li.
He's got my laptop, my
Pregnant
soundboard.
Chung-Li.
Yatta!
I just want to say, people think, pregnant Chun-Li. If you actually go on eBay and search pregnant Chun-Li, there's a statue of a pregnant Chun-Li, which apparently I found this out from listening to Operation Kill Screen when Jason was on with Jumble Junkie and all them.
We talked about before on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yatta!
I would have to go with best female. I don't know. Lara Croft is a good one. I like Zelda. Oh.
Oh my god, this Street Fighter Chun-Li pregnant thing is just fucked up. Holy shit.
She still looks good, you know?
I'd do her, but
Yeah, she still looks good.
How about you, Johnny? Who's your
Oh, it's gonna be Tifa from Final Fantasy VII because of her brains. I can't think of the top of my head. Mai Shiranai from King of Fighters. I don't know.
Dude, you totally stole mine. She totally stole mine.
Tifa.
how about you, Jimmy?
Dude,
I stole yours again.
Yeah, I have nothing now. I don't.
Yeah.
I played a whole lot of King of Fighters, and that was the only thing I.
Just say pregnant Chun-Li.
Pregnant Chun-Li sounds great. Yeah, go with that one.
Change my answer to Faith from Mirror's Edge.
Oh,
Ooh.
I got mine. Poison from Final Fight. That's what all. Final answer.
Wait, that's not even a girl.
Yeah, that's not a girl.
It actually
That's a dude.
is a girl. It actually has been said that it actually is a girl.
It's a thing.
Who's female character in Killer Instinct? Is it
Orchid.
Orchid. Yeah.
D between the T's, baby.
She's got the square kind of breasts going on, like pointy boobs.
Orchid.
Wonder what that'd be like.
Yeah. Cool.
It'd be fun.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, I would still definitely be interested in what's her face from?
Oh, Sonya from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Sonya. Yeah, but Sonya in real life. Whatever her name was, the little green spandex.
Yeah. The actress who played Sonya.
Yeah, she's pretty hot. But no, what's that chick's name? I always forget her name. From Perfect Dark.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
I'd bone her.
Jonah Dark.
Yeah,
Jonah Dark, yeah.
Looking good. Brr.
I think we should go around, do a roundtable real quick, since it's our 1 year. Kind of do the highlights, fondest memories of this past year of like the podcast. Some episode highlights.
Oh, that's a huge one.
Well, just real quick. I mean, just, you know.
real quick.
Johnny, you go first. I'll put you on the spot. Thanks.
I think the highlight of the year has been Gamester 81. I think that's been the high point.
He's a
Thank
good
you.
guy.
Oh, thanks, good
Yeah.
sir.
So that's my answer in a nutshell. Geez, to look back on the podcast, I would like to say Jason coming on was the highlight, because I think, I don't want to say anything, but I think that was such a huge turning point for the podcast, and it created the right chemistry, and it was just good times all around. And I think when Jason came along, it was a good time. And that's my highlight moment of the year, and Jimmy being on for the very first episode.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Johnny.
I would have to say the episode that we had that the chick who picked up stadium events.
Oh, that was
and
good.
the reaction we got when she said how much she paid for it. Now I didn't remember it. That was like amazing. We were like, oh shit, you know, that was.
She paid like she said she paid like a quarter a game. Yeah,
quarter
yeah.
for it, and she sold it for I forget even
Like
how much.
47,000 or something ridiculous, or
Yeah, I don't know.
24,000, or
It was crazy.
even that's crazy.
So that was one of my highlights. I think also having Dr. Kong on, you know, that was cool.
Oh, that was good too, John. Yeah,
We've had some really good guests
Yeah.
this year, you know.
I'm still trying to reach out to some other people, but I never get back. I never hear back from anyone. So
Yeah, we won't say who we try to get in touch with, and it's so funny that some people just don't get back to you. It's like, hey, I think it's a pretty positive thing we got going, and it's like not even a fucking write back, you know, nothing. It's amazing. I won't say who we wrote to, but
You guys have had some good guests like Splatter Trigger and Chris Bucci and Luke Morse. Oh my
those
gosh!
guys without saying, I know it's hard to pick a highlight moment.
Yeah, it is. Because you're right, Jimmy. Those are awesome guests. We've had some really fantastic guests. They've all been really great guests.
Well, how many? So, what's a guess here on how many guests we've had on? Would we say 40?
I think that's an accurate guess. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. There's
Wow.
so many highlights.
I think the live shows, honestly, like episode 50, that's probably one of my biggest highlights, seeing, you know, the whole gathering of everybody in the chat room and really just, I don't know, embracing the show together, watching together.
Yeah, incorporating. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Incorporating the audience. Yeah, I was done.
Yeah, that's. I would agree with you, Pete. I think incorporating the live streaming into our shows is cool. It's a nice highlight. Stadium events. Chick was awesome.
Yeah,
It was a really cool story to hear. Considering she wasn't a gamer at all, you know what I mean? Like, at all. And just what she got roped into there.
What I'm going to mention here is actually, it ties into, the podcast that we lost. Sorry to bring it up again, but
fuck you.
Even though no one got to hear it besides us.
Yeah.
It was the first trivia episode that we recorded. It was between the four of us and Retro Gamer 3. Jason was the host, but the end battle, it came down to like me and John got eliminated, and then it was just between Johnny and
No, it was me and Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny and I keep thinking it's Ed for some reason. Johnny and Gamester, but they had the most epic, like, because it worked in elimination style where they'd ask a question, and then if they got the answer right, the next person that went, they had to get it right in order to continue. So whoever got one wrong and the next person got one right, that's how it went. You would win. But it was the most epic battle, back and forth, and like the most ridiculous questions ever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was lost, but that was still like, I can't get over how much fun that was.
Who won that? Was it me?
It was you.
Yeah.
Actually, it was very. I can't really quite remember. It was something about the RPG, the first RPG.
First RPG
we were just disagreeing, and we were both right in a way. It was really a weird one. So who knows?
That's another highlight, really. I think the trivia battle was really fun, and I really liked it. I think we all really enjoyed ourselves. It was a good time.
When I was on Operation Kill Screen, I brought up an idea of getting together, like the All Gen Gamers versus the Operation Kill Screen podcast in a trivia battle.
We would annihilate them.
They have three and it's four though. Who'd be the
Jason
moderator?
could be the mediator.
Mediate, yeah.
I know Tim's sweating listening to this right now.
He's probably furious right now.
He's like,
he's fucking pissed.
He's
fuck, Holly,
so
get out your
pissed.
books. We're studying all night.
Stay all night.
Mike, get off the couch.
That would make it for a fun episode. That would make a great episode, I think, for just
If he's up for it, let's
Be a lot of people on Skype. Boy, oh boy.
6, 7 people. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a certified Class A clusterfuck.
Orgy.
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing. And do you know what? If all the audience for both podcasts send the questions to Jason alone, and only he would.
Well, Jason already has like a million questions from
After the trivia battle. Yeah, when I posted where to send them, I just got lit up. I probably got 200 questions in there.
Oh wow.
Just for the trivia battle. And I'm not saying like, I'm talking like probably from like 200 people in the forum, and they all don't submit one question. They submit like a whole page.
Yeah.
I've got just tons and tons of questions. I mean, we could do 15 trivia battles and it'd be no problem.
Wow.
So, I mean, we should probably maybe plan on doing another one soon. It'd be fun.
That'd be good.
How about when Jason Kierling, I think is his last name, came on and, well, you wrote to him and how he came on with Maids with Balloons and how he listened to the show.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool story too. How he was already listening to it and he wrote me. Yeah, that's really cool.
Listening to us bash his game throughout many episodes.
And then we had him on the show and it was hilarious and fun. And then that spawned me to do my first video game soundtrack for his game Conquest, which was a really cool gig that I got. That's kind of a highlight for me.
Yeah,
that's nice.
cool.
How about the All Gen Gamers orgies?
Oh, yeah, with Vito doing the orgies. Those are hilarious clips. Yeah.
Get your whale on.
Oh,
Sing
God, yeah. Get your whale on. Funny stuff. The whale, in general, is funny little
How
gag,
about the general hype on like 50 shows in a row talking about the 3DS coming out. People were complaining that all we did was talk about the 3DS.
We can't help it. We're fanboys.
Yeah, we like new consoles.
Get excited.
It's funny because how often do we play it now? It's like,
Every day, John.
I haven't gotten Zelda yet, but I plan on getting it soon. Because contrary to popular belief, I do like Zelda.
Oh,
Johnny just
we know the truth. Jimmy knows too. Jimmy, that's another reason why Jimmy doesn't like it, because you don't like Zelda.
Zelda hater.
I know, eh?
Hater.
So, Pete, what you been playing lately, man? Game-wise.
Oh, Jesus. Well,
Pandora's box, no pun intended.
You've been playing Jesus?
I went back and I've been playing a lot of Team Fortress 2. I think you can say I'm addicted, right, Jason?
Yeah,
He comes on every time he's on Steam. I'm playing Team Fortress.
I'll just send him a quick message. I'll just say addict. And that's it. And I sign off.
Apparently, I've invested over 50 hours into this game, and I've had it for like a week and a half, I guess.
Wow.
2 days.
But I'm
2
addicted to
days.
backstabbing with the spy. It's a lot of fun, and what can I say?
I like
live
watching you
stream
do
it,
that.
but-
It's fun. Yeah, I like watching you do it.
But besides Team Fortress, I have gone. Oh, God damn it. My neck hurts. I don't know what it is. The past like 2 weeks, my neck has been like bothering me.
I know what
It's
it
probably
is.
Too much
sitting here
for
playing Team
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 Fortress.
Fortress,
Yeah.
Team Fortress, yeah.
Kind of a coincidence. It starts right at the same time. But no, I went. There was a sale at Best Buy, buy two get one free. So I picked up 3 games, 2 of which I played. One of them being Oblivion, the 5th anniversary edition. Now, I kind of pondered to myself, I'm like, do I want the 360 version? Do I want the PC version? And I'm very glad that I chose the PC version because I figured, well, I already own the game on 360. I was mainly buying it because it comes with the expansions, Knights of the Nine and Shivering Isles, which I've actually never played before. And I figured, yeah, you know what, I'll just get the collector's 5th anniversary edition rather than downloading them separately. So I'm like, all right, I'll get it on PC and hopefully it'll look better, have maybe a different gameplay experience than on the Xbox. And oh my God, does it look so much better than the Xbox version. The load times are much faster. Just the graphics in general, because being able to have the capability to control different lighting effects, different draw distances that you don't get in the 360 version, it looks amazing on my PC. I have everything on max. And I live streamed that. I played it for about 2 hours. I plan on making sort of like a battle mage class. And all it did, I'm sure this has happened to you guys, where you play a game and then the only thing that happens to you is you just want to go back and play the older versions of the series. So as I'm playing Oblivion, I'm like, man, it's been a while since I've played Morrowind. So I went and I downloaded Morrowind from Steam, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. The last time I had played this game was back in like 2000, 2001, whatever the hell it came out on the Xbox, 2002. But here's the thing. A graphical update was released as a mod for Morrowind by like a team of people that worked on it for 2 years, where they make the game look like it's better than Oblivion in terms of graphics. It looks like it's better almost than Skyrim. It looks amazing, where the whole game world is remapped. All the trees, the grass, the characters, like everything is retextured. It looks like a totally different game. Now, since I'm new to PC gaming, I've never really modded anything or anything like that. So it took me approximately 6 to 7 hours that night to install this mod the correct way and get it running right. Because the first time I did it, it was very laggy. I had the settings too high. Turned it down, and then I restarted it, and then the mod wasn't working. So needless to say, 7 hours later, I finally got it working. And I can highly recommend this to any Morrowind fans. If you have a PC or the PC version, search for Morrowind. What is it? Just search like Morrowind graphic update 2011 or something like that, and it looks amazing. I played through about maybe an hour and a half of it, and it's very nostalgic because it's been quite a while since I played that game, and I had a lot of fun with it. Did any of you ever play Morrowind?
Yeah, I had it and I loved it. There's some things in Morrowind that I enjoyed a lot more. I enjoyed a lot better than Oblivion. I think Morrowind is a phenomenal game, and I haven't even heard about this graphical update,
amazing.
and it sounds amazing.
Yeah, if it takes a little bit to install, like there's quite a bit of steps you got to go through to get it working, but it looks amazing. And what I want to say about Morrowind that I like more than Oblivion is that when you played a Morrowind, it felt more like an alien planet kind of. You got giant mushrooms and stuff, and
Sure.
it just felt like more of a sci-fi fantasy alien world, whereas Oblivion, it felt like medieval. You step foot outside and you kind of know what to expect for the rest of the game, and that kind of holds true, where it's not as surreal as Morrowind. But no, I'd highly recommend that to anybody that's a fan of the original Morrowind, or if you're a fan of Oblivion, you never played Morrowind and you're kind of scared away by the graphics, definitely download that. Anyway, lastly, before we get to you other guys, and RobMan just came on Skype, by the way. I played one more game on the PS3 called Trinity Universe, which is a turn-based RPG put out by NIS America and Gust. And it's basically a crossover game between different game series, including Disgaea and I think the Alchemist games. I don't know. I didn't really play many of those game series, but I played about an hour and a half, 2 hours of it, and it seems okay. It's very traditional. It's got a lot of talking, a lot of cutscenes with talking between the characters. It's very cutesy, very anime style, over the top. And the dungeon crawling, it's kind of unique in that you are constantly searching for items and randomly spawning items, and that's the main focus of the game in the dungeons, is that you collect items to craft items and all that crap. And it's kind of hard to explain because, like I said, I haven't played too much of it. But if you're into anime style cutesy RPG affairs and a lot of grinding and a lot of talking between characters, I'd check it out. And that's about it for me.
Pete, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've noticed this is like the second or third week in a row now. I'm noticing you're starting to get a bit more into the PC side of things. Now, me, I'm liking this. I'm liking this. You know, I'm the PC guy.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you is that you jumping into the PC a little bit more now? I know that you've recently built one. You know, I know you've been wanting to do it for a while, and you have built one, but you getting into these games a bit more, playing more on PC, was that a little because of me and my server on Bad Company 2 and my love for PC gaming?
That garbage game you talking about?
You're pissing me off, Pete.
shit.
Doesn't hold a candle to
Pissing
Team
me off.
Fortress. No, I would say no. Battlefield definitely had something to do with it. I mean, obviously, before Battlefield, the only games I had truly played on my new PC were Rift and Final Fantasy XIV, which are MMOs. So really, my first delving into a different genre on the computer was with, Crossfire was actually one of the first ones that you introduced me to. So I'm like, okay, this is kind of what Counter-Strike is all about, getting my ass kicked once in a while on there, actually constantly, because people are freaking good at those shooter games when they play them for thousands of hours. But when I tried out Battlefield, I'm like, wow, these graphics, it's very impressive. The console versions just don't, they don't get this good. And honestly, it took me a while to get used to the PC controls. But once I kind of accustomed myself to getting used to keyboard and mouse, it started to grow on me. And I'm looking past the whole not playing with a controller thing and not owning a physical copy. I think just the convenience of Steam and getting these great deals on these games and being able to play them instantly, I'm starting to open up to PC gaming more and getting what I paid for out of my computer, basically.
Yeah, I agree. That's cool. That's cool to hear that from you.
So we're going to break in right now with a special report that RobMan is online, and he gets to reveal to the world his thoughts on Mega Man Legends 3 getting canceled. And I'm sure he'll have a lot to say, so we'll be back with everybody else's games we've been playing after this, because he can only come on for a little bit here.
Breaking news. Let me bring it in.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
The next 5 minutes are nothing but crying.
You need to put like music in the background, Jason. It's like sorrow music.
I know.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on? Rob, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. How you guys doing?
How you feel? I must ask, how you feel, man? I feel for you. How you feeling?
You know what? I'm okay. I'm okay.
All right.
It's it was a bit of a shock, but all things considered, it summed a few things up for me. It really kind of it put the final nail in a coffin, shall we say?
So I called you last night, and unfortunately had the was able to tell you that Legends 3 was canceled. And just as a bit of a backstory, there were some rumors that it potentially was going to get canceled, but everybody, all of us, I know all.
Use Jamie, you have to put a password in the.
Oh, geez, sorry, that's the background on mine. It's
A lot of companies are doing that now, right?
sorry. My apologies. I've cleared that up.
No worries.
Yeah, so Johnny gave me
but
the.
I think
Hold on. We lost your mic there, Johnny. You there? Unplug your mic, plug it back in.
is it back?
It's really weird it does that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's strange.
Is it back?
Yes.
There you go.
All right,
There you
continue
go.
on.
So there was a possibility it might get canceled, but we all were like, "There's no way they've, the development room, all of that stuff, all these people giving these great ideas, the demo that was supposed to come out, all of this stuff, So yeah. So Rob, what are your thoughts?
I feel let down a little. I'm a little bit heartbroken. I'm not going to lie about that. That's absolutely the truth. I really, at this point, I'm shocked. But over the last, since last night when it was revealed that it wasn't going to go through, I kind of half expected it, honestly. It's just another shot in the gut, honestly. It's you know what? I'm a little distracted right now because I just found while I was waiting for you guys, I found and actually, you know what? I found a video by a guy named Dewey Butts, DEWYBUTTZ, and he calls me out on something. That's what was sort of playing in the background for a second there. He has the clip of video when we were all discussing used game sales and how some companies like EA are now charging for online access or whatever to try and get some money out of them, and how I was not against that. And then he took certain lines out of the letter I wrote to Capcom and was saying that I can't make up my mind and I flip-flop on things. And I can see in the context he's using it how he could feel that way. And it's actually a well put together video if people want to check it out. It's called RobMan, it seems like you can't make up your mind. And it gave me a lot to think about. But as a point of order on that, I respect the game company's right to make a little bit of money. I mean, if they want to, I don't begrudge them that if they want to try and make some money on used game sales. I don't think they should necessarily be legally cut a portion of it. But I certainly respect their right, and I don't begrudge them trying to get some. My problem with Capcom is this. It wasn't that they're reselling the same game over and over and over and over, as we all know with Street Fighter Syndrome, Super Mega Ultra Hyper Street Fighter 2 Arcade Mega Edition, whatever they call it, right? But it's more so broken promises, and I think that was what failed to come through in the letter I wrote and what he was calling me out on, which, again, good job you. I respect it. But it was that they promised for the Street Fighter, the example he gave was the Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. They promised to put all of the downloadable content that had been available up to that point on the disc for people who bought it at the store as a disc. Then didn't put it on there. Okay. That's not cool. That they didn't do that. It's a broken promise. Mega Man Legends 3. It's another broken promise. They've been using a lot of their flagship franchises names, and in my opinion, I've seen the quality of those games go down. Like Resident Evil 5 to me was nowhere near the quality of Resident Evil 1 and 2. Am I wrong on that?
I agree with that. I thought it was more of an action game than it was a survival horror game, which it certainly was not a survival horror game.
Now, all of their flagship franchises have been kind of waning. And on top of that, their top developers have all left. They lost Inafune. They lost, oh my God. They lost the creator of Resident Evil. They lost Shinji Mikami. Sorry. They lost the guys that were doing Clover Studio that had made Beautiful Joe and Okami. All these guys have left them, and it's starting to show. And honestly, they are not the company they were that we fell in love with. That is my opinion. They have, and for me, this was the final broken promise, the final shattered dream that I openly stated on my Facebook page. And I wrote a big letter to them on my community blog, which Splatter Trigger has also put up on his website, splattertrigger.com, saying that enough is enough. You've made bad business decisions. You've lost sight of the vision. You've lost sight of taking care of your fans. You've lost sight of what made you great. And I'm so sorry to see it. I will always love everything you've done for us in the past, but I can no longer respect or support the company. I'm done with them.
I understand, Rob. I know that you're upset, but for myself, I won't not buy Capcom games because I like Capcom. I think that they've done some very strange stuff, and I think what they did with Legends was ridiculous. I mean, like, don't dangle a fish in front of somebody for like over a year and say, I'm going to give you this fish, you're going to get all this stuff, you're going to get, and then you just take it away. What are your thoughts, Pete? What is your real? Because I know you were annoyed about it too.
Well, I mean, we went over earlier in the show, and I have the same thoughts on it. That don't tease the fans for that long and get them involved in such a, I guess you could say, awesome idea for developing your game, and then just let them all down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, yeah, Rob, what do you in a quick kind of way for any of the audience members that don't know what's going on with that, and kind of explain what Capcom did with Mega Man Legends 3, and then the kind of like pulling the carpet from underneath you. Come on, everybody.
Okay, so when Mega Man Legends 3 has been one of the most requested, if not demanded, games from Capcom. Inafune himself wanted to make it. He wanted to make it for years. But the corporation that is Capcom headquarters in Japan did not see it as a financially viable game. They did not think there would be enough sales to support the production of said game. So finally, with the launch of the 3DS coming, they allowed for a Mega Man Legends 3DS. They wanted it to be Capcom's flagship game for this new 3D software, for the new 3D technology. And when they announced it, Inafune himself headed a project called the Dev Room, or the Developer Room. And what it was Capcom Japan, Capcom USA opened up their forums and their community to the Mega Man fan base and allowed them to become a part of the process of making this game. Step by step, they were giving you a look inside the studio as the game was brought together. Fans voted on which character designs they liked for new characters, on what enemy designs they liked, on creating bosses, on who would get voice roles. Members of the community could be cast as voices in the game. You could write dialogue for some of the ancillary characters you meet around town. Bringing the fans together, showing them this game, generating the hype, the excitement, the love of this franchise in this game. It was the most amazing thing. They showed, we love you. We want you to help us make this. This is a gift to you. You will get this game that you made. And they brought us along for months. Updates from Japan, updates from North America. Everyone was issued a ServBot number. You got to be one of the ServBots, and you were actually a part of the lab making it. It was never before seen. Now, when Inafune left Capcom, there were doubts as to whether this would proceed. Mega Man Universe got canned almost right away. But they continued, and they continued to tell fans, no, we're still working on it. Then as it went along, they mentioned that they were going to release a demo for Mega Man Legends 3 on the eShop with the 3DS. This was going to be their testing ground because they were still acting shaky about whether or not there'd be enough sales of this to make the game proceed. So based on the sales numbers of the demo, they would or would not release the full game. The eShop came and the eShop went, and that demo never showed up. They never even bothered trying.
I thought it was really strange that they thought they were going to, like, yeah, if the sales do well of the demo, then we'll make the game. It's like, what? Didn't you already say you were making the game? It's so weird.
The guy that runs the dev room on Capcom Unity wrote a response to all of the fans today as well. And in it, he stated that from the start, they wanted to show development of a console game from start to finish. Most of the time, console games aren't announced until they have been almost finished and are given that final approval to go ahead to sale. This was the first time, according to his statement, that a game was revealed and the development process shown all the way from the start without that approval having been given. So it was from the start never guaranteed it would come out. However, as a business move on Capcom's part, it was foolish of them to do this and then cancel the game. It's patently ridiculous.
Sorry, Rob, I want to chime in something that we talked about last night. And this is really a strange thing. This is what I said, is that when did Mega Man Legends come out? When did the first one come out? Do you remember? Was that 97?
Oh God, I can't. I think so, around there, 96 or 97.
Well, it came out over. Okay, my argument is this. So all I'm saying is this: it came out over 10, 11 years ago. Okay, so you're 2011 right now. The graphics engine that they had, they could do this 10 years ago. Why is this an experiment? Like, are we experimenting with brand new cell processor technology or some crazy organic technology? No, we're doing a graphics engine, a more upgraded graphics engine from nearly 10 years ago. Okay, in 3D, I understand, but everybody else can make their games in 3D. They can make Lego Star Wars in 3D. That can't be that insanely difficult. I find there's something more to it, and that's why I really think it's like because Ifune left. It really is. The Legend, Mega Man universe getting canceled. It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of unusual. But this, even I said to Rob last night, I'm like, that's really weird. Like, that's just so. Why can't they make a PS2 game on a 3DS. I mean, I'm not saying I understand all game development, but really, is it really that difficult?
I think you'll find that what's happened is, and what they don't want to say, is that they're afraid to release it because they don't feel it will live up to the Legends franchise.
Oh, that's
This
interesting.
is the conclusion I've come to. And the reason is because although Inafune laid the groundwork, he was the driving impetus behind everything Mega Man. Anything that had that name on it. It was a Keiji Inafune game. It wasn't a Capcom game. It was his. And that was, I hate to say it, but if you read that full interview he did, that was like 4 or 5 pages of text from when he decided to leave Capcom, this is exactly what he wanted to happen. Not to hurt the fans, but for Capcom to realize, one, that it was because of his passion and the passion of the team that he had built and that made the games great, and that, two, they can't do that without him or without having people that have that kind of passion. And they've lost that passion. He exposed the Japanese game industry for what it is. And this is part of why I'm surprised, actually, that they won't go ahead, though. He mentioned that they were willing to throw money at games that they knew were going to be mediocre at best, expecting big sales due to the franchise names.
Yeah.
And yet it surprises me that they're not willing to do that with this. The only reason I can think of is because they are afraid that with how much passion they've seen from the fans, that if this isn't as amazing as we've all hyped ourselves up for it to be, that it's going to be worse than if they just cancel it and never let it exist.
So sad. And all it boils down to is that we don't get Mega Man Legend 3. We will never get Mega Man Legend 3. And it's funny. It really sucks. That's all. We're not, like, I'm not like sitting there on some cliff going, fuck you all, screw you. I'm just bummed that we'll never get to play the game, which really, and so many, it's not Rob, it's not myself, Pete, or who are passionate about this game. There's thousands of people who are really upset about this. And that's the key word here, is upset, because we were looking forward to this game that, in all intents and purposes, was supposed to come out, that completely got pulled back at the last second. It's the weirdest thing. I've never, as Pete even said, I've never seen anything like this before either. I've never seen anything quite like this.
I had people writing on because my reaction, I understand some people think was pretty harsh and maybe a little knee jerk and over the top. But people were saying, well, what if they release another 8-bit Mega Man named Mega Man 11? What if they release a Mega Man X in 16-bit style? What if? It doesn't matter. They aren't Inafune's games. They're not Mega Man games. They can release as many as they want. To me, the series is done. Mega Man.
Well, Rob, okay. I'm not putting you on the spot here, but me and you have been friends for a long time, and
yes,
we both, and we've the amount of Capcom episodes that we've done. What if in the future they release a kick-ass, what was it, Street Fighter 5 game?
I can't support it. I won't buy it.
You won't come into my house and play it? I'm not putting you in the spot.
No, I'm not saying. You know what? I won't buy them. If you're playing it, I'm sitting there. You throw a controller in my hand. Maybe I'll play. I will not give them my money, and I will not purchase any more of their games.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Asura's Wrath looks like it could be an interesting game, but to be honest, I cannot support a company that will do this to their fans. It's that simple. Yeah. And their apology was half-hearted at best.
What did he say? With apology?
Even if they release a new Mega Man game later on in the future.
They're not Inafune's Mega Man games. I don't want them.
Yeah.
Inafune is the Mega Man impetus. He's the man that makes them happen, as is evidenced by the fact that none of the ones that he started were finished when he left. So, no, I don't want another 8-bit Mega Man because it won't be an 8-bit Mega Man. It'll be a Capcom pushed out, we need to sell something, but it won't be a Mega Man game. Not the way they're supposed to be. The series is dead to me. It's over. I have accepted that. I have moved on.
Well, to be absolutely honest, they haven't announced. They've never said any other Mega Man games. I think they'd be afraid to make a Mega Man game now. They're getting so much backlash, and from all this, Capcom is very strange. For them not to do a Mega Man Legends 3 was a bigger, letdown for them as a company than they'll know. It's Mega Man Legends 3 is what makes Capcom in my eyes.
It absolutely was. This was to me, this was the litmus test. This was the redemption factor, because they've put their fans through a lot over the years. The loss of so many key players and some what I consider to be mediocre games and what should have been excellent franchises. Just a lot of shady doings, a lot of promises that were broken. And this was, to me, if they released this, I was like, okay, they're back on track. They've been shaken, but they're rebuilding. They couldn't do it. They're on the way out, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's sad time for gamers, right? It's sad time for gamers.
It is, and we're really the ones who lose. We lose out because we've lost out on some of the greatest games. Because in their heyday, in their halcyon days, these guys were the company. As you said, Johnny, our episodes will attest. How many of our episodes have been devoted to gushing over how great this company's games are?
Yeah.
The lion's share of them. My shelves of retro games, so many Capcom classics in there. So many, and every one of them golden to the last. But to me, it was around the time of Resident Evil 4 that it started to look wrong.
You didn't like Resident Evil 4?
I enjoyed it, but it didn't feel like a Resident Evil game to me.
I actually thought, it was 5 that felt a little different. But
five lost the plot entirely, but 4 to me, when it was the Elgato and not the zombies, it lost something. It started to lose something there to me. It was still a great game in its own right, but it didn't feel Resident Evil.
Yeah. And before anybody chimes in, I really want to say this, is that Capcom doesn't owe anybody anything. They're a company that is meant to make money. But the problem with this, and we're saying it again, because I really want to state it, is that they dangled this fish in front of everybody, not just me and Rob here, in front of everybody, saying we're making this game, we're making it like for so long. Demos are coming out, and people bought 3DSs for that demo. Yeah.
I had someone say that I was being ridiculous because they're a company and they're out to make money, and I shouldn't boycott their game simply because they did something I didn't like. One thing I didn't like. And if it was one thing I didn't like, I wouldn't. This isn't a decision that I'm going to make rashly. This is something that's been brewing for a while. And so, they did this to all of us. And they are a business and they want to make money, and I respect that too. But they're making money off of mediocre entries into what should be fantastic game series.
And don't cancel games that were going to be great. That's let us make up the mind. Like, just release it. Have a bit of faith. You know. So, anyways, I think really what do you guys want to chime in, Jason, John? I
think you guys summed it up pretty well. I mean,
I can't add anything to that.
Do we sound like we're crazy? I don't want to feel like we're like hardcore fanatics.
I'm going to just say, just being, I like the Mega Man franchise, and I really have enjoyed Capcom throughout the years and all this, and I'm definitely not as hardcore into like the Mega Man Legends and all that, and I look to people like you, Rob, and other people in the community that have followed it a lot longer than me, and I just sat back here in my chair and listened to this whole thing that you said, and I'm heartbroken over it. So I just to tell you, man, I think it's a really bum deal and I think it was a bad move on their part as a company, but I also think for the fans, and I feel bad that they canceled this, and I can't really add anything more than that. This really sucks.
Yeah, the PMs that we got to the show was ridiculous. You wouldn't believe it. It's like, did you hear? It's all that. Mega Man Legends 3 for RobMan. Capcom killed their spirits for good today. There's tons of these. Yeah, my Capcom kills Mega Man. Yeah, there's tons. So there's a lot of responses out there from a lot of people. I haven't looked in the Capcom community boards or anything like that. I think in every community everywhere that everybody's talking about this is kind of news. Yeah, it's kind of news. So it's kind of our hobby. So and so like so many gamers like us, it's our hobby. We're going to read this stuff and we're going to be bummed out. It's okay to be bummed out. We don't want to go kill members of Capcom. We're just bummed, and we're allowed to have that for sure. So
absolutely.
Too bad for sure.
it is terrible. It's I've actually got a message in my inbox on the Cap community that I'll have to check later, but it was one of the most responded to status updates I've ever done. I said my piece, and then I think within 1 minute I had about 50 responses.
Wow.
And people were asking what's going on, so I had to put a comment with the link to the article where they said they weren't doing it anymore, and the internet exploded. Like, this is one of the comments was Capcom single-handedly created the biggest nerd rage shitstorm of our time. And to be honest, they did. So.
Well, until next week, you know what I mean? You know, it's like this is kind of the world, right? You know, it's even they know. Hey, here's something that we haven't talked about is that Capcom's sitting there going, "Okay, should we cut it? Do we not cut it? Do we cut it? Do we cut?" And they're looking at Mom. Who knows? Okay, we don't know what happened at that meeting, but they knew one thing. Well, geez, Jim, if we cancel it, don't you think everybody's gonna be pissed at us? Probably, but well, we have to do it. You know. What a decision to make. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, it's here we go. Here's the statement from the dev room. The Mega Man Legend Project 3 has not just changed my life, but actually encompassed it for several months. Seeing it come to a close has been very difficult and something I've tried to mentally deny, but alas, we are confronted with the situation and must all face it together. As you know, the Legends 3 project has been one of skyscraping ambition to create a game which incorporates large quantities of tangible, meaningful input from fans. One of the fundamental aims of the project was to provide the game's loyal fans with a level of transparency, the likes of which has never been offered by a major game developer. The team developing this game provided in-depth articles detailing the various processes going into the game's creation, from voice recording to 3D character model creation. They talked about the office atmosphere and all of the ups and downs of the process with a degree of candor that was, to be perfectly frank, often quite concerning for the rest of the company. Why was it a concern? Because the thing is, there are tough realities in the industry that are largely left unpublicized for a good reason, because they're tough. All games go through a multi-stage approval process. Most games are not brought to the public's attention until the final approval is met. With Legends 3 exposing the fans to that process was part of the core concept, to show everyone what it really means to create a game. We were all in it together here, for better or for worse, and now together we must accept the outcome that many games ultimately face. I know many fans are disappointed by this news. Please realize this cancellation is no less of a blow to the dedicated staff who have been working on this project for most of a year now. Since Legends 3's first conception, it has consumed most of the team's waking hours. We have been living and breathing Mega Man Legends for months. We spent hours upon hours in meetings, created vast amounts of content in both in game's prototype and the main game here in Dev Room, and there have even been multiple trips overseas to meet and discuss the game's progress. To we who have been deeply involved in this project, it is more than a game. It's a symbol and a manifestation of collective hard work, creativity, and vision shared by all of us, not just a product, but an amalgamation of minds. The decision to close this project after all it has meant comes as very difficult news to all staff members as well, but we must move on. We didn't ultimately result in a game. It was a real look at game development in action, with all the excitement and disappointments that can entail. We did not arrive at this destination we had hoped for, but we thank you for coming on the journey with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Translation. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think they said what they needed to say there. What else? How can you make that sound good? You can't. That's pretty tough to write. So, you know.
And I feel for the team that was working on this game. I feel for them with all of my heart because they loved it just as much as we do.
Yeah.
What sucks is that some guy in the head office looked at the numbers and decided it wasn't meeting some sort of quota and didn't care about anything other than the fact that it hadn't reached X point by Y date.
Yeah.
And said cancel.
It's
too bad.
Unfortunate. Yeah, it is. I like Capcom, but this decision just trips me out big time. So
yeah,
it sucks. Jimmy, what do you think? You got anything to add to the end of this?
Well, in my opinion, no, it's kind of a question mark to me because the Mega Man series is a proven IP. And I know Capcom has a few new games, new IPs they're working on. And generally, a new game or a new IP, in my opinion, is kind of a risky move. You're not exactly sure if it's going to be a success. I mean, Capcom did that with Dark Void and, some other games. But I'm kind of not sure what to think, because you'd think they'd go with a proven franchise like the Mega Man franchise. And I know they have. I recently saw a trailer for one of their newer games, Dragon's Dogma. I mean, the game looked like it was playing in, 10 FPS. I mean, I'm not sure if it's going to be a good game. Maybe it will be, but I'm not sure why Capcom did this, because, like I said, Mega Man, proven franchise that has sold millions in its series. Obviously they've released a whole lot of games, but
yeah.
A new IP is a lot more riskier than a proven franchise. I'm not sure really what's next for Mega Man.
That's a good point. Like, what Mega Man game has been a failure? When you look at 9 and 10, they were big hits for Capcom.
Sure, absolutely. And, a lot of people, not just Mega Man, but big fans of Capcom, they've proven to develop fantastic games. And on the 3DS, this is just, there's not in my opinion, there are some good 3DS games, but Capcom be able to get in there, besides the Resident Evil, be able to get in there with a Mega Man game. I mean, it's just a win-win in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they would have done quite well. I'm so confused. I think that's my problem. Is I just don't know why they just canceled it in the end. Yeah, I don't know.
In my opinion, part of it was a lot of these developers or companies, they've got a budget, and Capcom, I think some of the games they've recently released, they haven't performed as well as they had hoped, and so they don't have those extra resources to make all the games that they want. And for whatever some of the games really haven't done that well, like Dark Void and some other ones. They've had some hits, but 2010 I don't think was that great of a year for them. So they had to make a decision, unfortunately, which is just horrible for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I hate to cut in. I've got to get going, so I'm sorry, but Jimmy, it was great having you on, man.
Hey, thanks, Sean.
And
Thanks so much.
I will talk to you guys soon. Okay. Continue.
Sounds good, John.
All right,
We'll talk
guys.
soon.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
Thanks. Bye.
See you, John.
Bye. See you, bro.
Yeah.
It's funny having thought about it today, and I'm maybe getting a little maudlin, a little dramatic, but at the same time, honestly, in a way, this is a sign of the times. That what's happened with Capcom, what's happening in a lot of the industry. Unfortunately, gaming is becoming the cash market. And games that are aimed at the hardcore fans and the old school fans aren't profitable anymore because we're not the major money draw.
But that's what's weird about Mega Man 9 and 10. Those are the old games, and they made money off.
And they made money off of them. They made very good profit off of them.
But you're right. Legends isn't to grandmothers aren't going to go out and buy that. I realize, you know what I mean? Like,
they're not going to buy Mega Man 9 and 10 either, but those were Inafune getting to do what he does.
It's got to be something to do with him. There must have been some serious issues with the game. There must have been some serious issues with the game.
I just don't think they could get the same soul in the game that they could have if he'd been there, because he is what makes them work. Now more than ever, that has been made so bloody apparent, is that if you want a Mega Man game and you want it to succeed and be beautiful, it has to have him at the helm. Otherwise, you're wasting time.
It's weird he leaves, and then 2 Mega Man games there are in development, are canceled. It's okay. If it's a coincidence, then wow, that's a pretty big coincidence, Even I came to that conclusion. It's got to be more than coincidence. It really. But hey, what the hell do I know?
It's so ironic. I think back to Comic-Con when he was there to sign the posters of Mega Man Legends and Mega Man Universe. Yeah. Just think of the people like Rob. I know you have some stuff signed by him from that, where people have the poster of Mega Man Legends 3 signed by Inafune, and now. Nothing. That's such an iconic poster now.
You know what? as a matter of fact, just a quick request to the people listening. If any of you are going to San Diego Comic-Con upcoming, apparently they are going to have Mega Man Legends 3DS cases.
Oh my!
Sale at the Capcom booth.
Wait, Mega Man Legend 3DS cases there?
Yeah, Mega Man Legends 3 3DS cases.
No, they're canceling those.
To clip onto the 3DS.
There's no way.
It's got to be canceled now. They can't do that.
If-
That has been pissing everybody off even more.
If they are selling them, and if anyone listening is going and they are selling them, would you do me the favor? Grab one for me, because I'd like to have one last little piece of memento to say goodbye with. I wouldn't mind having that. That'd be a nice goodbye.
They'd never. That's like just throwing dirt in the fans' faces.
Well, apparently, as of Splatter Trigger was saying that they're still on the roster for things being sold at their booth.
Well, they probably just forgot to even update it and take it off.
I will be shocked if they are. I will be shocked if they are, to be honest, because that would be just lemon juice and salt in the wound. But
So
yeah, so
Well-
that's where they're going.
well, they made a decision. This is reality. They made a decision, a business decision, and it sucks for the fans who are looking forward to it. But what can you do? And there's really pretty well nothing that can be done. You know, people are starting petitions and all that kinds of thing, but if they cancel the game that way, they're not going to all of a sudden go, oh, wait a second, there was a petition. Of course, we're going to make the game now. You know, it's done. It's done like dinner. It's not coming out. So we have to want to live with it. You know, pretty well.
This ain't no Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I know. It's not going to happen. So
See, people should make petitions during the development of a game to petition it to not have it canceled. That's what they're going to start doing now.
Yeah,
If
Please
they had
don't
made this
cancel
petition prior and had,
but
tens of thousands of signatures.
But
maybe they would've
nobody
fought this.
thought they would actually do it. Nobody thought they would actually have the guts to step up and go, you know what? We've strung you along. We've promised you the Golden Gate Bridge. Now here's a kick in the balls. Merry Christmas, kid. No one thought they'd do it, but they did.
That's like Mario canceling like Mario Galaxy 3 or something.
exactly.
That's how big this is.
Well, except that
It is that big. I think.
it would be like them doing a full spread of Mario Galaxy 3, showing screenshots, showing gameplay footage, telling you for, the better part of a year that it's coming out. Having the game
and Rob that the community could design new suits for Mario to wear and to use, and
exactly
for new enemies, and everybody's going, yeah, I can be a part of this.
and then they go, no, I'm not gonna make it.
Well, what's funny is that they actually picked all the designs. I actually, me and Rob were talking about this. I actually got my Nintendo Power magazine because I subscribed to it about a month ago, and there's a great 3-page spread on Mega Man Legends 3, and I was reading it and I was like, yes. And Rob, it's funny, it reminded me of the good old Die Hard Game Fan magazines days, that when I got excited. I was like, oh, they had all the character artwork, all the some of the designs that they picked right from fans. I was like, these are good designs that these guys have done, like really top quality art, not like some 4-year-old scribble, like really fine, good art. And I was just like, oh fuck. So yeah, I seeing a 3-page article in Nintendo Power saying, yes, here it comes, and yes, it's gonna be exciting, and look forward to it. And it's like 2 weeks, like a month later, no,
Now,
it's gone.
the other side of the decision to cancel came from the fact that the 3DS sales have been piss poor at best compared to what they projected.
Nintendo's definitely disappointed with overall sales.
Well, Capcom was looking at the 3DS, and I guess they looked at the sales of Super Street Fighter 4 3DS, right? And the sales reflect the number of consoles out there, so they're obviously also looking at that as not being a profitable game if nobody's buying the system. My argument to them for that is this game was a system seller.
It potentially, yeah, for sure. It was a game that no matter what, I was going to buy. It was like,
well,
Day
and people
one.
who hadn't, Mega Man fans who weren't interested in the 3DS were going to buy one to get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the sales of the system are bad now, but people would have, my wife bought me a 3DS for my birthday, so I'd have it before June when the eStore launched, so I could get the demo downloaded on day one.
Yeah.
I have only one other game for it, and that's Zelda.
Yeah, it is what it is. So,
yeah. So, again, like I said, Capcom, thanks for the memories.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of ending on a low note because I got to fly off here myself. So I think.
Yeah, I've got to feed my wife and kid here. They need dinner, so I'd better get going.
Take off, Rob. We'll close up here. And
thanks for your opinions, Rob.
Hey, you know what? Thanks for letting me come on and say my piece. And
definitely.
I'm so sorry for all the fans and for the fellow Mega Man fanatics. And I'm sorry to Capcom. I really am. I'm sorry that I couldn't believe in you anymore. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and have a good night.
Good night.
See you, Rob.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, well, I knew, if anybody who's heard the Mega Man press kit video that we did and heard Rob get up, was very emotional about that. Rob gets emotional about Mega Man. He's very emotionally invested in. It's a very admirable thing. In the end of the day, it's, he really likes his company. It really meant a lot to him, this game. So, before anybody goes kind of nuts going, oh God, Capcom, hate. There's no Capcom hate. He's just a guy who loved this company, loved this game, and he feels very disappointed.
I think if anyone think about, something that they're very passionate about, something that they truly love and have loved since the beginning that they can remember, I think if anyone thinks about something in their life that brings that emotion to you, and then to have it just, crumble before your eyes and be pulled right out from under you, you can't hate anyone who's, really passionate about something and definitely shows that emotion. So,
put it in the shoes of, if you like the Call of Duty games, how would you feel if Modern Warfare 3 was canceled or if Skyrim was canceled,
Yeah,
Sure.
or whole consoles get taken down. Like when the Dreamcast went, I felt the same passion back then about when the Dreamcast was getting eaten alive by the PS2, and then it was gone. Discounted, then gone. I mean, it was just a really sad time, and I feel for him. I understand where he's coming from with that.
And I think there's so many Mega Man fans. I think so many people in the audience feel the same way, or that they're bummed. It's just fine to be bummed, you know what I mean? But I don't have any hate for Capcom. I really don't. I like them. Unfortunately, I like them too much as a company. It's like Nintendo. No matter what Nintendo would do, I would always like Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like I understand Rob is taking a stand, and he's allowed to, and he is absolutely allowed to take that, and type of thing. Everybody's going to take their own stance, on the issue type of thing. But definitely sad times. But oh well, Jesus, I can't get back to like some happy, fun talk now. It's all like
it's crazy. Like the 1 year, and it's crazy. The turn of events.
Well, you know what it shows? It shows that, to be honest, 1 year it's crazy. It's crazy how much we're into video games.
Yeah, that's true. This is a gaming podcast.
It's a great hobby.
I did want to have Jimmy, though, just quickly go over, what he's been playing, whatnot.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel bad. Bring him on.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Absolutely. Lately, I've been playing a few different games. I've been playing Enslaved Odyssey to the West. I know, Pete, you did a review a little while back for that one, and I got to pick that one up. And it's just a really gorgeous looking game developed by Ninja Theory. And they're the same ones.
How far along are you in that?
I'm only on, I think, chapter 4. So I don't know how many chapters there are. So I'm not too far into it. But
if you think it's good now, I mean, honestly, I thought that the game started off a little slow, and by the midpoint of the game is like at its peak. So if you like it now, it's only going to get better.
Oh, that's excellent. Great looking game. Ninja Theory, they're the ones that developed it. They also developed Heavenly Sword, and they're making the new Devil May Cry game. And just a gorgeous looking game, Enslaved, and been having a lot of fun with that one. Also, I've been playing Infamous 2. I got to play a lot of that. which came out last month, and I really enjoyed it because I loved the first one. I love open world sandbox games, and I wasn't sure how Infamous 2 is going to stack against the first one. My only complaint, I think the only thing that I didn't like about the sequel was, I played through it on normal, and I didn't really have any problems. It wasn't that much of a challenge. I kind of wish I had played it on a harder setting. It's definitely easier than the first Infamous game. And just a blast to play with all the different superpowers you can acquire in the game. Definitely an excellent PlayStation 3 title. And one other game that I've been playing is another game that actually you recommended was a Sin and Successor for the
Sin
Wii.
and Punishment. Yeah.
Sorry, Sin and Punishment.
Star Successor. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm mixing those up, jumbling up those. And I mean, it's basically it's like a on rails shooter. If I'm getting that right, Pete. But
yeah, on rail. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Developed by Treasure, and I'm a big fan of Treasure. They're very, very talented. To the game I'm actually looking forward to playing. I'm really excited about getting my hands and playing Bastion tomorrow. It's an action RPG on Xbox Live Arcade.
Well, can you explain a bit about that? Yeah,
basically it's a kind of like a bird's eye view, kind of like a action RPG.
Think
I look
Diablo.
at it, Diablo kind of reminds me of a little bit reminds me of Landstalker, and the art style is unbelievable. It's from a small group of developers in the Bay Area, and it's going to kick off the Xbox Live Summer Arcade. And this is a game that actually was shown at the Penny Arcade. And definitely check out, I know there's a couple reviews up on GameSpot and IGN. I'm hoping to maybe do a review for this one.
Well, the one unique thing about the game is supposedly the whole game is like, it's narrated. So everything you do in the game, there's like thousands and thousands of lines of unique dialogue.
Oh, I know this freaking game now you're talking about.
Yeah.
Not a lot of games that come out like this every day. Definitely original. I'm really looking forward to it. I heard the game's around, 10 to 12 hours, but like Pete said, there's so much to do in this game, and this game is going to have the potential to have a lot of replayability. And so definitely looking forward to Bastion. I was really I know it's a kind of a different type of game, but I knew that Braid was going to have a lot of potential. And when I got my hands on that one, I was not disappointed. But Bastion's going to be, kind of a different type of game. But, I'm a big fan of RPGs, action RPGs, and this one looks like it's going to fit the bill. It's developed by guys, that grew up playing action RPGs like me as a kid, on the Super Nintendo and, the Genesis and
Laser and Illusion of Gaia, all
exactly,
that.
Exactly. So, I am a big fan of modern games, but I do like a game every once in a while that, kind of reminds me of why I got started in gaming, with gaming in the beginning. And so
it looks great. So I'm refreshing my memory here by looking at the screenshots, and yeah, I saw the trailer for this and I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm interested. So
yeah, it looks like it has a lot of potential. Totally. So yeah, absolutely. And that's about it in terms of games I've been playing. It's been kind of quiet. Not a whole lot of new games coming out. Of course, it's summertime, so it's definitely time to look for the games I haven't completed in my stack of shame. A lot of us have games. We're like, I got to play more of that game. It's definitely now's the time. So, yeah.
Speaking of backlogs, I after Uncharted, I was like, okay, what am I gonna play next? And I started going through everything, and Batman, Arkham Asylum. Oh my god, have you played that, Pete?
Yeah, I was kind of late to the party on that one too. I waited
definitely
a good year, almost a year. Well, no, I think it was like 6 months before I played it, and yeah, I beat it very quickly. It was a lot of fun.
That's a great game.
Excellent game. You know what it was, and for anybody out there who's on the fence about it, they're like, oh, another Batman game, because that's kind of what I thought. I'm like, oh, another Batman. I'll be honest with you, I don't really these days. I'm not a real big Batman fan. I used to be. I'm I don't know. I suddenly got older and I wasn't into Batman anymore. You know, I loved Batman on the NES back in the day, and the Genesis days and all that. But yeah, it's like, okay, it's Batman, and I remember I downloaded the demo and I played it, and I thought, oh, this is good, but there's no way I'd actually play the game. You know, the whole game. And god damn it, did I ever make a wrong decision with that idea? What a great game! What a well put together, graphical, play mechanics, solid. Like right now, I'm giving this like an 8 out of 9 out of 10. It's such a polished game, and makes me look forward to the new Arkham City. That gets me excited. I'm gonna finish this game hopefully in the next week or so, and remove one of the games from my backlog. But loving the game, totally. Talk about late to the party. I'm late to a party on a bunch of things, but I'm getting to all this stuff. So, Jason, what have you been doing?
Well, I haven't been doing too much. Again, Jimmy, as you mentioned, you know, in summertime, you kind of look at your back catalog and, you know, get to the games you haven't been playing recently. And I honestly have been going through my back catalog on Steam and looking through. I was playing through Duke Forever the other night, just kind of going through there. See, I don't want to say the spoilers in case, you know, people haven't beat the game yet, but when you beat the game, they give you some cool abilities. I'll just say that. So I've been going back and playing through that with these unique abilities, and it's just a blast. Like you can totally speed run through it and just have a really good time. And so I did that a couple nights ago, playing through that. I actually went back and I started to play Modern Warfare 2, the campaign. I haven't jumped online. I'm not really interested to do that. I really wanted to play through the campaign because I have really enjoyed the campaigns in those games more than anyone else I've talked to. So I was playing through that. I played about an hour and a half on it. And so I'm working through that. And let's see, anything else? I know they're all shooters. Let's see. I recently, on the Steam Summer Sale, they had all the Far Cry's on sale. I've mentioned that prior. I went back and I started Far Cry 2 again. I'm about an hour or so, hour and a half into that game. You know, it's kind of an open world sandbox. You know, you have objectives. It's almost like, you know, like a Grand Theft Auto, if anyone hasn't played it, where, you know, it's in first person, but you have like side missions and objectives, and you can do other things. You can follow the beaten path, or you can kind of veer off. You meet up with different people. They give you different little side missions. You get diamonds for payment, which you can then buy and upgrade your weapons and this and that. So there's kind of a really cool element to it, and I like it. My only thing is I kind of like a little more. I like the freedom, but in a way, when you give me too much in a game, I just get lost.
You get bored.
Yeah,
I get bored, and so I'm about an hour and a half into it, and at this point, it like stops as okay. It even says this. It goes, okay, the tutorials are done. You can now do this and do this and do this. And I'm like, click OK. Boom, a whole other page comes up. This is what this means on your map. This is what this means on your map. This is where the car. This is your friend. This is your safe house. This is your save point. This is your this or this. Click OK. Poof, a whole other page. You can feel free to do this if you want, but you can also go do this and this and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, overload. So now, and then it's like, okay, poof, there you go. Have fun. And I'm like looking around like, can I get like an arrow on top of my screen to point where I need to go? You know what I mean? Like I kind of want, like you were doing this for the first hour and a half, kind of showing me how to do it. But so I don't know. I think this is where when the game first came out, this is kind of where I lost it at that time. And here I am again. So, but I'm going to force myself to push through and just start interacting in the game's environment and see where it takes me, see where it leads. But there's a lot of freedom at this point. It happens about an hour and a half into the game, and I hope I don't get bored because I really want to finish it. I'm really interested in the third one that's coming out sometime later next year, Far Cry 3, and I don't know how the game's going to play in comparison to this. Maybe it's the same.
You know what they said? They said the scale is supposed to be 10 times the size as Far Cry 2.
Oh, fuck. Well, I can already see that being a problem then with me. Shit. Well, funny. I'm still going to give it a shot because I think the game looks great, and I like the way it looks, and the voice acting is top notch, and I think the production value on it is going to be really, really high, and I'm really interested in that. So maybe not a day one purchase for me, but definitely going to be looking forward to it. So Other than that, you guys, that's really been about it. I haven't had time to do, as Johnny, you mentioned earlier, I'm in the process of moving, and I'm picking the days that I have to tear down my entire studio and relocate it, and so I'm going to have some downtime, and so I haven't been playing a whole lot. I've been packing and kind of getting things organized, so going to be a little slow down with me here. But,
they actually say, Jason, that moving is one of the most stressful things that you can do.
It is. It is. And I've done it quite a few times in the last 3 years, and I'm so sick of it. But, you know what I mean? Just the way that it is. So wish me luck.
We wish you luck. Absolutely. For sure.
Thanks. That's about it for me.
Gosh. So I guess we kind of come to the end of the podcast.
It's been fun, you guys.
Definitely.
It's been a pleasure. You know, for me, you know, you guys did 5 episodes, and then I joined on the 6th episode, and this whole year hanging out, being a part of this, it's just been a blast, and I'm really, really happy to be here. No, it's been a really good time. You guys are like my family, my brothers, and I appreciate it. And here's to another year, you know.
Totally. All kidding aside, we all joke on each other. I know I joke on a lot of people on the podcast, but it's all in good fun. We're all actually very, good friends on here. No, there's no malice ever meant or anything. But Jimmy, because I got you here, I just want to say is that I know I said it earlier. I used the word nostalgia, and I'm very nostalgic about that early time when we were all just talking on Skype, and we're like, hey, let's just go on and record something and maybe put it on the internet. Maybe somebody will listen. And,
that's just amazing,
isn't it?
To see what's taken place. You guys just been able to get a lot accomplished. Definitely talked about a lot of important things, and it's just amazing how small, simple things that start off. How great down the road things can get, and I just congratulate you guys.
Yeah, well, we got to get you on before another 50 goes by.
Sure. I would love that.
Totally, we definitely will. And yeah, so sorry, there was such a intensity with the Mega Man Legends thing, but I think that topic was a hot potato, and it had to be talked about.
Definitely.
If we didn't talk about it, that would be just completely crazy.
Too bad we didn't get Rob on the second that it was announced that it was canceled. I think.
Oh my god!
Awesome,
like live feed.
Motherfucker!
Well, to be honest with you, I talked to Rob last night. I was the one who delivered the news to him, and he took it quite well. He was just like, he's just bummed. That's all. Sure, it makes sense. So, but it's been a good year getting back to all the positive stuff and not going, oh god damn it, Legends again, type of thing. But so, guys, I will talk to you all very, very soon.
Sounds good. You guys have a good night.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah.
Bye.
And bye, Pete.
Bye.